Chapter 1401. Okay. Bai Shuang's hair reached her waist. She was lively and cute. Her eyes were big and sparkling with excitement. Then, the little girl's face fell. She snorted and said, "Don't brag. He's a disciple of the Sky Bamboo sect." Although he didn't enter the top 10, Zhu Lihui found the chi of celestial medicine for him and helped him enter the immortal realm. His talent and potential are very strong. Not to mention Su Yin. Even Bai Yunqi was no match for Zhu Gaoge. There were 3 kinds of immortality path. The first was to rely on immortality substance to mature the body. The second was to use celestial medicine. The third was to rely on oneself. The first was definitely the weakest, but the second was extraordinary. The essence of a powerful celestial medicine could improve the essence of a person's life. If the celestial medicine was strong enough, it would not be inferior to relying on oneself to cultivate the foundation. Zhu Gaoge was Zhu Lihui's only son. Therefore, all kinds of resources were given to him. It was difficult for Zhu Gaoge to not be strong. Now, he was an expert who came in contact with the celestial path. With Zhu Gaoge's identity and status, he was naturally a big shot in the White Phoenix continent. "Don't you want to kill him?" Su Yin asked. Bai Shuang was angry. She said, "If he dies, the Bai family is finished. I'm afraid the ancestor will be buried with him." Su Yin suppressed the strong impulse in his heart. Although he wanted to kill Zhu Gaoge, he could not let the Bai family be implicated. "Stop talking. No means no. Fellow cultivator, please go back." A furious voice came from the sky. Bai Yunqi clenched her slender hands and suppressed the anger in her heart. "No, why not?" Zhu Gaoge's face was cold. He looked down at Bai Yunqi and said, "Am I not worthy of her? Do you still know the status of the Bai family? Answer me like this." "Zhu Gaoge, it's not a matter of whether we're worthy or not." Bai Yunqi was furious, but she knew what would happen if she angered Zhu Gaoge. She said coldly, Shuang is still young. She hasn't reached the age of marriage yet. Let's wait a few years." Su Yin was furious. Bai Shuang was still a little girl, and this Zhu Gaoge actually wanted to touch a little girl? Su Yin's heart skipped a beat. He guessed that Zhu Gaoge had come for Bai Shuang's body constitution. With Shuang's body constitution, it wouldn't be difficult for her to become an expert in the future. This Zhu Gaoge most likely wanted to use Bai Shuang as a cultivation furnace. Bai Yunqi naturally knew what Zhu Gaoge wanted. If Zhu Gaoge really married Shuang, Bai Yunqi's fate aside, the future of the Bai family would be under Zhu Gaoge's control. Zhu Gaoge even wanted the inheritance that the Bai family's true immortals had accumulated for generations. Therefore, Bai Yunqi absolutely could not agree to this matter. Zhu Gaoge's expression darkened as he said coldly, "The Bai clan is now in a difficult situation. Without my help, the Bai clan will not be able to defeat the Kai clan. If the Bai clan loses in the Emperor Road battle arena, the Sky Bamboo clan will have to reconsider if the Bai clan is qualified to continue controlling the White Phoenix continent." "You still want to threaten me?" Bai Yunqi's face turned even uglier. "I'm just stating the truth," Zhu Gaoge said indifferently. "If I marry Bai Shuang, I'll be the son-in-law of the Bai clan. In the future, no one will dare to behave atrociously in the Bai clan's territory. Moreover, I promise that I'll find some elixirs that can prolong the Bai clan's old ancestor's life. I'll report this matter to the old ancestor and let him make the decision," Bai Yunqi replied. Zhu Gaoge's face darkened. The Bai clan's old ancestor was in seclusion, and it was impossible for him to come out. Now, Bai Yunqi was in charge of all matters in the Bai clan. If Bai Yunqi did not agree, he could not force Bai Yunqi to marry him. After all, the Bai clan was a subordinate force of the Sky Bamboo clan. They had been paying tribute to the Sky Bamboo clan for hundreds of thousands of years. If the Bai clan were to fall, the Sky Bamboo clan's reputation would be damaged if news of this were to spread. Zhu Gaoge was furious. Then, he saw Su Yin, who was standing beside Bai Shuang, and said coldly, "I heard from Elder Zhu Xiaoming that you've offended an expert from the sovereign sect. Is there such a thing?" Su Yin said indifferently, "I've offended many people. May I know who you're referring to?" A rogue cultivator is a rogue cultivator. Zhu Gaoge looked at Bai Yunxi and sneered. Give up on me and place your hopes on a rogue cultivator. What fate does your Bai clan have? You really don't know when to stop. You don't have to worry about that. Bai Yunxi replied calmly. Don't be so sure. Take your time to consider my conditions. In the end, Zhu Gaoge used his gaze to inspect Bai Yunxi's figure and appearance. It was as if he was appreciating a toy. He said with a smile, Of course, when the day comes, I'll increase the price. Zhu Gaoge left, leaving behind an old man with an arrogant expression. The old man glanced at Bai Yunxi and frowned. Bai Yunxi is a smart person. You should know Zhu Gaoge's identity. Even if he wants to marry you two sisters. So what? Can it be compared to the survival of the Bai clan? There are some things that should be paid. Why must a woman put up a strong front? You're also his lobbyist? Bai Yunxi said with a cold expression. I'm just speaking casually. Qi Linyu said arrogantly. I'm a consecrator of the Sky Bamboo clan. Your Bai clan has requested assistance from the Sky Bamboo clan, and I've accepted the task to teach you a set of joint attack formations. Qi Linyu's expression was extremely arrogant. He was a formation master, and a small place like the Bai clan was beneath his notice. If it weren't for the generous reward, he wouldn't have come to such a small place. When do we start? Bai Yunxi asked. Let's start now. Qi Linyu waved his hand impatiently. Whether they can learn it or not will depend on their talent. A bullshit formation master. How arrogant. Su Yin shook his head. The Bai clan was in a difficult situation now. They had requested assistance from the Sky Bamboo clan, and in the end, a great god came. Although Bai Yunxi was unhappy, he didn't dare to make a fuss. Soon, the 10 immortals of the Bai clan gathered in the training hall. The black-faced man and the others obviously ostracized Su Yin and didn't want to stand with him. Qi Linyu snorted at Su Yin. What could a rogue cultivator know? He probably wouldn't even be able to learn it. One had to admit that the joint attack formation that Qi Linyu had imparted to the 10 of them was quite impressive. However, when the lesson ended, Su Yin felt a chill run down his spine. Qi Linyu still had a trick up his sleeve. He didn't teach the 10 immortals all the transformations of the joint attack formation. With Su Yan's attainment in the occult arts, he could tell that there were more advanced techniques to this formation, but Qi Linyu didn't plan to teach them. 300 immortal herbs are in this old man's hands? He still has a trick up his sleeve. Su Yan was a little jealous. Wasn't this too easy? If he revealed his identity as an 8th grade occult arts grandmaster, he would probably become the guest of honor of all the major sects. All right, you guys should study this 10 gates Chinquin formation. If there's anything you don't understand, feel free to ask me. Qi Linyu squinted his eyes, looking drowsy. He wanted to complete the mission as soon as possible and leave the Bai clan with the herbs. On the other hand, Jing Fu and the others treated Qi Linyu like a deity. They were flattering him, praising how good his planning skills were and how profound Qi Linyu's methods were. Jing Fu and the others were obviously sucking up to Qi Linyu. Qi Linyu enjoyed it very much and was all smiles. This rogue cultivator. When Qi Linyu saw Su Yin leaving without a word, his face darkened. He shook his head and thought to himself, a rogue cultivator will always be a rogue cultivator. He has no future and won't do anything. Jing Fu said coldly, Sir, why do you care about a rogue cultivator? I think he's just a rogue cultivator. He didn't know what to say and was afraid of being embarrassed. That's why he left in shame. You're right. Qi Linyu's mood swings. He smiled and said, My joint attack formation has many transformations. As long as you practice it diligently, you'll definitely win in the Emperor Road's battle arena. Come, let me show it to you again. Thank you, sir. Jing Fu and the others grinned excitedly as if they had found a treasure. He left. Bai Yunxi frowned slightly and looked at Su Yan's back. She also felt that the 10 gates Qian Kuan formation was extraordinary and could increase their combat strength. However, why did Su Yan leave? Although she had only known Su Yan for a short time, she felt that Su Yan was a mystery. There was more to him than meets the eye. What was the bloody path? It was a training ground filled with lives. It was extremely bloody and cruel. Bai Yunxi had secretly investigated Xia Kunlun. As far as she knew, Xia Kunlun had killed no less than 100 Immortal Realm cultivators in the Bloody Path in half a year. What did that mean? To Bai Yunxi, Xia Kunlun was a killer. His talent and comprehension were probably very high. Otherwise, Bai Yunxi would not have promised Su Yin the position of chief consecrator. Time flew by. In the blink of an eye, 10 days had passed. On this day, the sound of bells rang in the Bai clan's ancestral land. It's finally begun. In the secret palace, Su Yin stretched and stood up. He pushed the door open and walked out. Not far away, he had already seen Bai Yunxi's 9 Immortal Realm cultivators. Their auras were very strong, and they were all at the 7th or 8th Immortal Realm. Only Bai Lianggong and Jing Fu were at the 9th Immortal Realm. Su Yin walked over and joined the crowd. There were also gloomy eyes looking over. Qi Lin said unkindly, "Not bad, kid. I've taught you for 10 days, and you didn't come for a single day. Once there's a flaw in the 10 gates, Qian Kuan formation on the stage, and the enemy finds an opportunity to break it, I'll see how I'm going to explain it. Don't worry about it," Su Yin said indifferently. Qi Lin glared at Su Yin. Just as he was about to speak, Bai Yunxi's aura gradually grew stronger and suppressed the crowd. Although she was a woman, her essence, qi, and spirit were too strong. She was like a female general, flowing with a strong battle intent that soared into the sky. "We will win this battle," everyone in the Bai clan roared. Their voices were like thunder, exploding in the sky and scattering the clouds. "Let's go," Bai Yunxi shouted coldly. Her aura was getting stronger. Although Jing Fu and the others were at the 9th Immortal Realm, they were much weaker in front of Bai Yunxi, who was at the 8th Immortal Realm. The 10 Immortal Realm cultivators rushed out of White Phoenix City and headed toward the Emperor Road's battle platform. The Emperor Road's battle platform announced the end of the year. There were only 3 days left until the end. Chapter 1402. The huge floating battle platform reeked of blood. After a year of fighting, no one who could truly dominate the battle platform had appeared. The Kai clan's people are here, but the Bai clan's people aren't here yet. I wonder who will win this battle. Isn't that obvious? Kai Yuan from the Kai family has unearthed his immortal potential and even reached the 9th heaven of the Immortal Realm. He is truly an immortal overlord. Although Bai Yunxi's combat strength is extraordinary, she has yet to reach the peak of the Immortal Realm. The onlookers discussed among themselves. The 9 Immortal Realm experts from the Kai family all had powerful auras. 4 of them were 9th Heaven Peak experts. Kai Yuan is here too. At that moment, a figure rushed over from afar. It was as if a chaotic star was charging over, shaking the heavens and earth. Many women's eyes lit up. Kai Yuanxiong was the ruler of White Phoenix Continent and was the #1 youth of his generation. With such status, it was hard for him not to draw attention. Although White Phoenix Continent was a barren continent, he was still able to deter the geniuses of a continent. He was a true pride of heaven. Kai Yuan put his hands behind his back and looked down at the crowd, exuding a mighty aura. He looked at the 10 Immortal Realm experts who came from afar with a hint of coldness in his eyes. When he noticed Bai Yunxi, who was leading the group, Kai Yuan's eyes burned with desire. Kai Yuan had been eyeing Bai Yunxi for a long time. If he won the Emperor Road battle platform, the Kai family would become the overlord of the White Phoenix Continent. By then, Bai Yunxi would be at his mercy. Thinking of this, Kai Yuan smiled gently. "Miss Bai Yunxi, I've been waiting here for a long time. This battle was supposed to begin half a year ago. I'm sure Miss Bai Yunxi knows why it has been delayed until now. If you and I join forces, we'll definitely be a legend in the White Phoenix Continent." The crowd was in an uproar. Kai Yuan's public display of affection had caused an uproar among the onlookers. Some of the women also lost their colors. Compared to Bai Yunxi, they were indeed not qualified to be mentioned in the same breath. Yunxi must not lose this battle. The group of elders from the Bai family looked gloomy. The tension between the two sides was thick. "Cut the crap. Let's go." Bai Yunxi stepped onto the fighting ring with a cold expression. Zhu Gaoga suddenly sent a voice transmission to Bai Yunxi, saying, "Bai Yunxi, my words will end here. I hope you can make a decision that will satisfy me." Once the Kai clan wins in the battle arena, my clan will think that the Bai clan is unable to control the White Phoenix continent. We will support the Kai clan. Zhu Gaoge, you must be dreaming. Bai Yunxi's jade-like hands suddenly clenched tightly. To her, and even to the entire Bai family, this battle was too important. If they lost, the Bai family would face the risk of being exterminated. Young master, I don't think Bai Yunxi will agree so easily. Outside the battle stage, not only did Zhu Gaoge come, Zhu Xiaoming also came. He sneered and said, "This woman is really out of her mind. With young master status, what kind of woman can he not have? Young master, you're giving her face. The Bai clan is only a subordinate of our clan. You have to teach them a lesson." Qi Linyu also stepped forward to show his loyalty. How dare a small Kai clan fight over a woman with a young master? You're courting death. Zhu Xiaoming laughed. Qi Linyu probably didn't know that Zhu Gaoge came for Bai Shuang, and Bai Yunxi was just an accessory. Kai Yuan, a young overlord? Zhu Gaoge shook his head and said disdainfully, "What a mortal overlord! Without the life essence evolution drug, even if you rely on your own immortal potential, it will be difficult for you to become an overlord. You are still lacking. Life essence evolution medicine." Qi Linyu was stunned. Qi Linyu, there are some things that you don't understand. This is something only the core members of the immortal sects are qualified to know. Zhu Xiaoming said, "Young master once took a rank 6 evolution medicine and excavated an extremely terrifying life essence to strengthen himself. Outsiders only know that one can become an immortal overlord by relying on their own immortal potential, but they don't know about the existence of the life essence evolution medicine. Even if you rely on external forces to mature your body, if you're lucky enough to obtain a life essence evolution medicine, it's enough to strengthen your immortal potential. There's such a miraculous medicine in this world." Qi Linyu was deeply shocked. This was the first time he heard of it. Of course, Zhu Xiaoming would not explain it to Qi Linyu in detail. This was a small secret among the immortal sects, and it was not widely known yet. Even if it was spread out, the small sects would not be able to afford it. 1. The suspended Emperor Road battle platform released its God Order chains, and the battle platform began to seal itself. It was impossible for anyone else to get on the platform. Swish, 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 swish. 20 immortals from the Kai family and the Bai family charged toward the battle platform. The powerful beings from both sides unleashed their full power. Divine light shot into the sky, and one after another, they unleashed their blood essence and pierced through the sky. Immortals were also powerful beings in the immortal heavenly domain. 20 immortals unleashed their full power, and their divine light pierced through the void. The 10 immortals from the Bai family were fully awakened. They activated the supreme killing formation and charged toward the Kai family. This brat, Qi Linyu's expression was a little strange. He thought that Su Yin had not learned the 10 gates Qiankuan formation, but he was stunned. He was a formation master, so he could naturally see the formation patterns manifested by Su Yan's body. They were exquisite. Even the formation patterns inscribed by Bai Yunxi were not as exquisite as those inscribed by Su Yin. Qi Linyu even felt that it was difficult for him to inscribe such exquisite formation patterns. Xia Kunlun, Jing Fu's expression changed. He thought that Xia Kunlun would embarrass himself, but he was embarrassed instead. He had humiliated Su Yin for the past few days, and now he was slapping himself in the face. "Young master, that's Xia Kunlun." Zhu Xiaoming pointed at Su Yin and sneered. "He offended the sovereign sect and was rejected by me. I didn't expect the Bai family to be so bold as to take on such a hot potato. The sovereign sect doesn't need to be so calculative with an ant." Zhu Gaoge shook his head. "What can Xia Kunlun do? He's just a rogue cultivator. As long as the Bai family loses the Emperor Road battle platform, I can find an excuse to ask my father to punish the Bai family." Who was Zhu Lihui? Not to mention the Bai family. Even 10 Bai families added together would not be enough to defeat him. The 10 immortal realm experts of the Bai family formed a joint attack. The moment they formed the 10 gates Chinquin formation, the Chinquin power was unleashed and suppressed the Kai family experts. Boom! The Emperor Road battle platform shook as the Chinquin power tore the void apart and suppressed the Immortal Realm experts. Bai Yunqi, you think too much. Do you think you can defeat the Emperor Road battle platform with the 10 gates Chinquin formation alone? Kai Yuan sneered. The other 9 Immortal Realm experts were also very calm. They were not intimidated by the formation. Bai Yunqi's face darkened. How did the Kai family know about the 10 gates Chinquin formation? Immediately after, the 10 Immortal Realm experts of the Kai family glowed and formed the same mysterious formation patterns. When they intertwined, the divine power that was formed was like a vast ocean. In an instant, the Chinquin power that was suppressing the Chinquin power was forcefully resisted. Bastard, the Kai family's formation can suppress the Chinquin formation. This is not a coincidence. Bai Yunqi was furious. He looked at Zhu Gaoga and saw him smiling at him. This made Bai Yunqi's face turn pale. He said angrily, "How shameless! The vast ocean formation is the nemesis of the 10 gates Chinquin formation." Qi Linyu's face turned ugly. According to the agreement, if the 10 gates Chinquin formation worked, he would get 300 immortal great herbs. Now, he was afraid that he would not get anything. Don't worry. Once the young master's wish is fulfilled, he will compensate you. Zhu Xiaoming laughed sinisterly. Thank you, young master. Qi Linyu heaved a sigh of relief. He felt a chill in his heart. Zhu Gaoga was really sinister. If the higher-ups of Sky Bamboo found out about this, Zhu Gaoga would not be able to bear the consequences. Colluding with foreign enemies was not a small crime. Although the Bai family was a subsidiary clan, it would affect Zhu Gaoga greatly if this matter was blown out of proportion. The Kai family seems to have taken precautions. They know about the Bai family's trump card. Some people gasped. They were having difficulty breathing and felt dizzy. The vast ocean formation was extremely powerful. It was famous for its magic power and could suppress the Chinquin formation. Boom! On the battle stage, sounds of killing rolled and divine energy surged. Terrifying waves split the sky. The Chinquin formation trembled, and the 10 immortals could not stand still. Not good. Jing Fu was terrified. It was as if he saw the vast ocean formation penetrating the Chinquin formation and crushing them into ashes. You must stop it. Bai Yunqi stared angrily and shouted to calm Bai Lianggong and the others down. The 10 immortals of the Bai family awakened again and activated the 10 gates Chinquin formation to stop the vast ocean formation. This is bad. The Bai family elder's face turned ugly. The vast ocean formation had penetrated the Chinquin formation. The moment the terrifying divine energy came crashing down, some of the immortals trembled as if they had been hit by a giant bell. Their bodies were about to explode. Some experts coughed up blood as the formation runes covering their bodies began to blur. Once these people could not hold on, the 10 gates Chinquin formation would have many holes. The vast ocean formation was all-pervasive, and even more divine energy came crashing down. The scene was extremely spectacular. It was as if the Milky Way was falling from the sky to destroy the 10 immortals. Zhu Gaoga. Bai Yunqi's eyes were red as she glared at Zhu Gaoga. Zhu Gaoga was calm as he waited for Bai Yunqi to give in. If she submitted to him, he would directly attack and suppress the Bai family's experts. This was the perfect ending in his mind. I can't take it anymore. Some of the immortals of the Bai family were terrified. They felt like they were going to be beaten to death. Their mentality had completely changed. Su Yan's face darkened as he said, "Everyone, don't panic. Activate the formation runes on your bodies. Although the vast ocean formation is powerful, the 10 gates Chinquin formation is not unbreakable." Xia Kunlun, what are you doing? Why are you still causing trouble? Jing Fu shouted angrily. Can't you see that the opponent's formation is suppressing the Chinquin formation? Idiots, do you all want to die on the battle stage? Su Yan's eyes flashed coldly. His calm words were like thunder from the 9 heavens, exploding in their ears. They were so shocked that they almost fell to the ground. You, Jing Fu trembled as if he had seen a ghost. He felt that Su Yin was like a prehistoric beast with a murderous aura that could kill them in a single blow. Listen to Xia Kunlun's command. Bai Yunqi's heart was filled with hope. The 9 immortal realm experts no longer hesitated and communicated with the formation runes covering their bodies. It was also at this moment that strands of terrifying soul energy penetrated their sea of consciousness in a domineering manner and began to control their minds. Suddenly, the formation runes covering the 10 immortal realm experts' bodies rearranged and projected the vast Chinquan formation runes. Soon, a Chinquan beast was outlined in the void. It shone with a golden light and surged with a tide of energy that spread out in all directions. Qi Linyu was shocked. What was going on? He had not even studied the final transformation of the 10 Gates Chinquan formation, but how did Bai Yunxi and the others perform it? Roar! The Chinquan beast roared at the sky. Its roar was like thunder. Immortal substances came out of its mouth and nose like millions of mountains crashing forward, crushing a corner of the vast ocean formation. The terrifying aura filled the air, suffocating and trembling everyone. No! The 2 immortal realm experts cried out, but they could not stop it. The corner of the vast ocean formation crumbled, and the heavy light struck the 2 immortal realm experts. They were no match for it. Blood spurted from their mouths and noses, and their bodies trembled as they fell to the ground. Su Yin stood between heaven and earth, controlling the 9 immortal realm experts. He gathered the Chinquan beast again, and its roar shook the entire Emperor Road battle stage. As for the vast ocean formation, it was riddled with holes. The rolling Chinquan tide turned into a killing force that bombarded the vast ocean formation and the 8 immortal realm experts. Chapter 1403. In the suspended battle platform, the thunderous roar shook the heavens and earth. The Chinquan beast roared continuously, shattering space and time. Waves of energy blasted the 10 imperishable immortals. The faces of the Kai clan elders changed drastically. How could something so ridiculous happen? The vast ocean formation was broken, and the Chinquan beast even sent the imperishable immortals flying one after another, losing their ability to fight. Bastard! The patriarch of the Kai clan said angrily, "Damn it! Didn't they say that the vast ocean formation could break the 10 Chinquan formations? Did we fall for their trick? How can this formation be so overbearing?" Some of the Kai clan's formation masters looked terrible. Who could control such an exquisite combination of formations? According to their intelligence, none of the experts recruited by the Bai clan were proficient in formations. At this moment, many people focused their attention on Xia Kunlun. He stood calmly between heaven and earth, controlling the power of the 9 imperishable immortals formation runes and the Chinquan beast, crushing the 5 imperishable immortals. Other than Kai Yuan, the rest were all severely injured. How could it be him? That wild cultivator? The second elder of the Kai clan was so angry that his lungs were trembling. A few days ago, he had mocked Su Yin for not being worth 100 imperishable herbs, but now he felt his face burning. Could he be an arrayed Dao Grandmaster? Zhu Xiaoming's expression was uncertain. Xia Kunlun, whom he had rejected, was actually a formation master. Qi Linyu wanted to cry, but no tears came out. He never thought that Su Yan's mastery of formations would be so profound that he could break the vast ocean formation with brute force. This kind of person could do well even in the immortal orthodoxy. Did he really think that the ultimate transformation of the 10 Gates Chinquan formation was so easy to master? If one could master it and use it to perfection, they would definitely have extraordinary achievements in the field of formations. What a wild cultivator. This is beyond my expectations. Zhu Gaoga's expression did not change. He did not expect Xia Kunlun to be the one to break the formation, but the Kai clan was not defeated yet. After all, the 10 Gates Chinquan formation went berserk one after another, causing the Bai clan to suffer great losses. "I can't take it anymore. Stop," Jing Fu complained. Bao Yanggong and the others also suffered great losses. Su Yin broke the vast ocean formation with brute force, so he had to pay a price. Other than Bai Yunxi and Su Yin, the rest of the imperishable immortals were greatly weakened. Kai Yuan's sinister gaze glanced at Su Yin as he suppressed the shock and anger in his heart. Following which, his gaze landed on Bai Yunxi as he coldly said, Bai Yunxi, you have really exceeded my expectations. However, what does a formation master count for? I'm afraid he doesn't have much combat power. He walked step by step towards Bai Yunxi, his aura surging. 9 levels of undying energy burst forth. His undying energy was incredibly powerful. The key to victory is still you and me. Kai Yuan sneered. You delayed for half a year, wanting to find a powerful foreign aid. What a pity. Yun immortals. Was. Bai Yun. Bai Yunxi's eyes were filled with mockery. Her aura gradually grew stronger, and 8 layers of aura burst out. However, her aura once again grew stronger, and suddenly soared to the 9th heavenly layer. The whole place was in an uproar. Bai Yunxi was also a level 9 immortal. Everyone was shocked. It was difficult to advance 1 level in the immortal realm, especially from level 8 to level 9. However, no one had expected that Bai Yunxi had already cultivated to this stage. Level 9 immortal realm. Kai Yuan's face darkened. He said coldly, So what? You just broke through a few days ago. How strong can you be? We'll find out after we try. Bai Yunxi clenched her fists. Her slender body glowed brightly with immortal substance. Her aura was vast, and she had the demeanor of an overlord. Obviously, Kai Yuan's aura was stronger than Bai Yunxi's. The moment the 2 immortal energies collided on the Emperor Road battle platform, violent waves surged out from the battle platform, piercing through the clouds in the sky and causing the heavens and earth to tremble. Bam! The 2 powerful cultivators clashed like lightning, exchanging blows on the Emperor Road battle platform. Kill! Bai Lianggong roared. The 8 immortal realm cultivators rushed toward the 4 Kai family elites who were severely injured. Their eyes flashed fiercely. They only needed to kill Kai Yuan's right-hand men to get rid of them. They could buy time to join forces with Bai Yunxi to suppress Kai Yuan. Bai Yunxi, I won't give the Bai family any time to breathe. Everything will end soon. You can't defeat me. Even if I give you a few more years, you won't be able to do it. Kai Yuan's aura was getting more and more intimidating. The moment he clashed with Bai Yunxi, his palms suddenly rose and covered the sky. Immortal aura was vaguely released. Immortal path secret technique. The onlookers were shocked. It was just the beginning. Was he going to fight to the death? The Kai family had a true immortal, so they naturally had their own immortal path secret technique. Kai Yuan's palm was huge, and the light of order flowed. It was an immortal path palm technique. It suppressed a part of the Qian Kuan world, and even enveloped Bai Yunxi. Sister, be careful. Both of them shouted nervously. After all, Kai Yuan was much stronger than Bai Yunxi. Now, with the help of the immortal path secret technique, this palm was even more terrifying. The moment it slammed down, the void exploded. Layers of palm prints hit Bai Yunxi. Wong! Suddenly, Bai Yunxi's aura changed drastically. The light of order gushed out of his pores and intertwined into a huge white phoenix at an extremely fast speed. Immortal Path secret technique. White Phoenix descends. Bai Yunxi roared. His entire body and the white phoenix became one. He released the strongest life force and attacked the layers of palm prints falling from the sky. Heavenly Essence Palm. Kai Yuan sneered. The heavy palm prints overlapped and formed a huge palm that covered the sky. Bam! The white phoenix made of order was beaten until it wailed. Its body was twisting, and it was about to explode. White Phoenix spreads its wings. Bai Yunxi roared. The snow-white phoenix shone brightly and suddenly spread its wings. It was as if 2 sword embryos were born. Its bright feathers rippled with terrifying waves and suddenly split open the heavenly essence palm. But the white phoenix was also wailing, and its wings were also broken. Although her ultimate technique surpassed the heavenly essence palm, the price to break this move was extremely heavy. Kill! Bai Yunxi let out a long howl and pounced on Kai Yuan, killing his way to the front. Kiki, just when Bai Yunxi was in front of Kai Yuan, his aura changed. Dense chaotic light rose from his body and circulated around his body. It scattered a vast expanse of chaotic light. This was an earth-shattering divine ability. The sky was filled with chaotic runes accompanied by immortal energy. It outlined an ancient chaotic armor that flowed with divine demonic light. It was inexplicably terrifying. Kai Yuan, who was wearing the chaotic armor, had an extremely powerful aura. He punched and broke Bai Yunxi's jade-like hand. Her body flew out violently. Zhu Gaoga could no longer sit still. He suddenly stood up with a gloomy expression. This is the chaotic grotto heaven's secret technique, the chaotic armor. The entire place was in an uproar. The primal chaos heavenly abode was an immortal sect, and the primal chaos armor was even more famous. It was said that once the primal chaos armor was formed, its defensive power would skyrocket, and it could even increase one's combat power. In short, this kind of secret technique was extremely rare and precious. It was a secret technique of the chaotic grotto heaven. But how did Kai Yuan control the chaotic armor? Young master, this is bad. The Kai family must be a force supported by the chaotic grotto heaven. They want to get their hands on the White Phoenix continent. Zhu Xiaoming's expression changed. This was not the first time this had happened. The death of the sky bamboo progenitor had aroused some suspicions from the other immortal sections. Factions like the Chaos Paradise were only probing the waters. If the rumors were true, then the rich continents under the sky bamboo's command would be their primary target. Kiki, Bai Yunxi, oh Bai Yunxi, let's see what you have to fight me now. Kai Yuan wore the ancient chaotic armor, which made him look like a chaotic divine demon. He laughed angrily. Your Bai family has controlled the White Phoenix continent for hundreds of thousands of years. It's time for a change of master. In your dreams, Bai Yunxi was furious. Once he lost his position as the master of the continent, the Bai family's old ancestor would not be able to hold on much longer. By then, their Bai family would be reduced to a small force at the bottom of the hierarchy. They would be in danger of being destroyed at any time. Beauty, I can't bear to kill you. As long as you obey me, the Bai family will be safe. Kai Yuan laughed. He wore the ancient chaotic armor. His aura was at its peak. Just this defensive power alone was not something Bai Yunxi could break. Otherwise, Kai Yuan looked down at Bai Yunxi and said coldly, "Only death awaits you. Kong Yuan, are you treating the other 9 immortals as heir?" Su Yin walked over and helped the heavily injured Bai Yunxi up. "You wild cultivator, I haven't found a time to kill you, and you dare to jump out yourself?" Kong Yuan's expression was dark. He said, "I'll give you 2 choices. Kneel and submit to me, or I'll cripple you." Su Yin waved his hand and interrupted Kong Yuan. He said calmly, "I don't like to make choices. Just attack." Xia Kunlun you. Bai Yunxi's expression was not normal. She admitted that Xia Kunlun had some tricks up his sleeve. However, Kong Yuan had mastered the chaotic armor. Who could defeat him? Seems like you've chosen to be crippled. Kai Yuan's tone was dark. He suddenly punched out. The chaotic armor on his body vibrated, and a chaotic light beam burst out. Xia Kunlun, be careful. Bai Shuang was frightened. She did not expect him to stand out directly. In front of Kai Yuan's peerless strength, Su Yin was really weak. However, someone saw him waving his fist and smashing it towards Kai Yuan's fist. Many people felt that this person was most likely courting death. However, the moment their fists collided, a deafening explosion occurred in the void. Everyone was stunned. Su Yin blocked it. "I've underestimated you." Kai Yuan's expression changed. His aura also rose sharply. The chaotic armor flashed with bright runes, supporting his body and increasing his strength. I didn't expect Kai Yuan to have cultivated the chaotic armor to such a level. With this secret technique in hand, just relying on defense alone is enough to make people of the same generation despair. The Kai family's experts laughed. They felt that the outcome was already decided. "Kill!" Kai Yuan roared angrily and rushed toward Su Yin. His entire fist flowed with chaotic runes. When it gushed out, it was blazing and overflowing. It was about to crush the sun, moon, and stars. Facing this attack, Su Yin was expressionless. He waved his fist and punched out. From beginning to end, he was extremely calm. The fist he waved also looked ordinary. However, what stunned everyone was that no matter how strong Kai Yuan's aura was, Su Yin could completely receive it. Kai Yuan waved 3 punches, each stronger than the last. However, he still could not suppress Su Yin. Kai Yuan's expression was extremely gloomy. He glared at him and said, "Wild cultivator, I admit that you are very strong. However, in the White Phoenix continent, my Kai family is in charge. If you dare to block my path, can you stop the true immortals of my family? Are you threatening me?" Su Yin smiled. Kai Yuan said coldly, "Don't doubt my Kai family's ability. My Kai family is a force supported by the chaotic paradise. The Emperor Road battle platform of the White Phoenix continent is mine. If you insist on being stubborn when the true immortals attack, you won't even know how you died." Kai Yuan did not believe that a wild cultivator would dare to get involved in this mess. So what if the Kai family's true immortals are? If you dare to provoke me, I'll kill you all the same. Su Yan's eyes widened. He immediately attacked and rushed towards Kai Yuan. His entire aura changed. He was like an eternal and indestructible human emperor, reviving on the river of time and space. Just the spiritual energy emitted from his forehead was terrifying enough to overflow the sky. What? Kai Yuan was terrified. The person in front of him was completely different. His vitality was more turbulent than the sea. His life essence was unparalleled. He was completely an overlord. Heavens! Someone exclaimed. The undying beings on the battle platform were trembling. They had goosebumps all over their bodies. Was this still a weak wild cultivator? The ferocious flames surged to the sky. Even the powerful Kai Yuan was trembling. This person was unbeatable. He had seen the legacy disciples of the chaotic paradise, but they could not be compared to him. Boom! In the end, Kai Yuan was in a daze. His body was in extreme pain from the punch. He felt like he was going to explode. His soul was trembling. He did not even have time to scream. He felt like he was going to die. His life essence was evaporating. However, Su Yan's outburst also awakened something. A majestic and ancient list quietly appeared on the Emperor Road's battle stage. Chapter 1404. Monarch Ranking. Look, it's the monarch ranking of our White Phoenix continent. Countless people were overwhelmed with emotions as they cried out continuously. Their emotions were about to explode. The White Phoenix continent had existed for countless years, but the monarch ranking had only appeared once in a long time, and it was a pitiful one. But now, the monarch ranking had appeared, and it was about to reflect a person. As a matter of fact, the monarch ranking no longer belonged to Su Yin alone. In the past year, it had appeared countless times. Especially during this period, there would be thousands of people leaving their names on the monarch ranking every day. The immortal heavenly domain was just too big. There were countless experts. In addition to the geniuses from the various universes in the void, there would always be more than a few 100,000 people in the first round of the monarch ranking. Those who left their names on the monarch ranking were glorious, and their names would spread across more than 10 continents. It was also a symbol of their status. Once the monarch ranking was nominated, they would surely be recruited by the immortal sex to prepare for the upcoming competition. Of course, even if they were not nominated, they would still be qualified to participate in the competition. However, the competition was relatively cruel, and only those who could sweep across the world would have the chance to make a name for themselves. Buzz! Far away in the heavenly bamboo continent, a space-time mirror emitted a divine glow, and a beam of light flew into a meeting hall. The meeting hall was occupied by the experts of the older generation of the heavenly bamboo continent. Their identities were not to be underestimated. Most of them were elders, and some were even old ancestors. The monarch ranking has appeared in the continents under our jurisdiction again. The experts of the heavenly bamboo continent were filled with anticipation. Once the monarch ranking appeared in the continents under their jurisdiction, there would be no doubt that a shocking genius would walk out. Even if the monarch ranking appeared, it would be impressive. What? White Phoenix continent? What continent is that? Some of the elders were confused. They knew the names of the continents under their jurisdiction, but where was the White Phoenix continent? White Phoenix continent. It's a barren continent under our jurisdiction. Could it be that the White Phoenix continent has produced an incredible genius? An elder was surprised and quickly said, according to the information from the mirror, the monarch ranking has appeared, but there is no name left. This means that his potential is still lacking. Even so, it was already impressive. After all, the White Phoenix continent was a barren continent. If the Heavenly Bamboo continent's experts were recruited, they might be able to nurture a capable general. We can't neglect this matter. A Heavenly Bamboo continent's genius from a barren continent. The silent old ancestor opened his eyes and said, "Go and investigate carefully. If he really is a genius from our clan's subsidiary clans, bring him directly to our clan. The 10,000 tribe battlefield is about to open. Our clan is in dire need of generals." This was a matter of great importance. The Sky Bamboo faction had to be fully prepared. Over the past few days, they had received many geniuses from their vassal clans. They had even taken out rare resources to nurture them. In short, the Sky Bamboo faction was prepared to spend a fortune to nurture a group of geniuses who could dominate a region. They would be able to prepare for the upcoming mission. This is ridiculous. On the Emperor Road's battle stage in the White Phoenix continent, Zhu Gaogo was furious. Why would the monarch ranking appear? Although the monarch ranking appeared in a flash, the Heavenly Bamboo continent's experts would be the first to know. It would not be long before the Heavenly Bamboo continent's experts would descend on the White Phoenix continent. He knew very well that the Heavenly Bamboo continent's experts wanted young Heavenly Bamboo continent's experts. The resources they offered made him extremely jealous. The monarch ranking. It's really the monarch ranking. The Kai clan leader laughed. It must be Kai Yuan who lured out. If his strength is even more shocking, he will definitely be able to get the monarch ranking. He will definitely attract the attention of the monarch board and obtain the qualifications to be nominated. At that time, Kai Yuan will definitely become the successor of the primal chaos paradise. What did that mean? Kai Yuan would become a big shot in an immortal orthodoxy. Even the Kai clan status would rise along with him. The White Phoenix continent was in an uproar. No one expected the monarch ranking to appear in the Emperor Road's battle stage. Who lured it out? Some people were suspicious. Why was it Kai Yuan and not Xia Kunlun? The Kai clan leader said excitedly, "Kai Yuan, get down from the battle stage immediately. You can fight him after you've recovered." That's right, Kai Yuan. You've used up a lot of energy in your battle with Bai Yunqi. If you can recover to your peak state, you'll have a high chance of getting the Monarch Rankings nomination. The Kai clan's elders laughed excitedly and urged Kai Yuan to get down from the battle stage immediately. Some of them even prepared secret recovery medicine. Suyin shook his head and laughed. He walked down from the Emperor Road's battle stage step by step. Suyin had already received the Monarch Rankings reflection once. He would not be able to get it a second time. Moreover, he had already been nominated. Therefore, the Monarch Rankings soon disappeared. Wild Cultivator, what are you laughing at? The Kai clan leader said eerily, "The battle isn't over yet. Shouldn't you wait for the two of you to reach your peak state before fighting? Or should I say, you could just surrender now?" Suyin looked at the Kai clan's elders as if he was looking at an idiot. He laughed and said, "Ask him if he can't continue." It was a rather strange sentence, which made the onlookers here stunned. Some people looked at Kai Yuan. At first, they thought that Kai Yuan was very calm. Soon, he got up and walked down from the battle stage. However, before he could take more than 10 steps, he really couldn't take it anymore. He knelt on the ground with one knee, and the chaos armor that he was wearing shattered into pieces. His exposed body was trembling. Barf! In the end, Kai Yuan spat out a mouthful of blood. It was not just one mouthful. He spat out more than 10 mouthfuls of blood that he had been suppressing. Some of them even contained broken bones and flesh. Kai Yuan's appearance was too miserable He was trembling and did not dare to look at Su Yan. He could not say a word. Kai Yuan. The entire Kai clan was scared out of their wits. What was going on? The spectators were shocked. Kai Yuan was severely injured and could not get up. He fell into a pool of blood. Finally, he pointed at Su Yan and said, Who? Who are you? Xia Kunlun, Su Yan said calmly. Then, he left the Emperor Road battle stage and said to the petrified by clan Grand Elder, Grand Elder, are these 100 immortal great herbs worth the price? Yes, it's too worth it, the by clan Grand Elder stammered. His eyes were filled with shock. He did not see the battle clearly. He only saw Kai Yuan being defeated. How did Su Yan do it? Who saw it clearly? Bai Yunqi's beautiful eyes looked at Su Yan. She was a little complicated and also a little surprised. Stop right there. The Kai clan leader was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. Kai Yuan seemed to have been crippled. All his bones were broken, and he could not even stand up. The Kai family head was furious. His eyes were filled with sorrow as he glared at Su Yan and said, You actually dared to do such a vicious thing. You must pay the price. How dare you? The Kai clan is so bold. Zhu Gaoge stood up and glared at the Kai family people. How dare you say something like that in front of me? Do you think that the Sky Bamboo family doesn't exist? He scolded. Don't think that just because you have the support of the Chaos Grotto Heaven, you can do whatever you want in the Sky Bamboo clan's territory. Get lost if you don't want to die. The Kai clan was thunderstruck. They did not forget that this was their territory. Now that Xia Kunlun had won the Emperor Road battle stage and even attracted the attention of the Emperor Board, the Sky Bamboo clan would definitely take him seriously. Although the Kai clan had a true immortal expert, they did not dare to offend an immortal orthodoxy. This despicable person. Bai Yunqi snorted. She was relieved. Bai Yunqi, come and talk. Zhu Gaoge suppressed his anger and beckoned Bai Yunqi. This kid knows when to yield. I like to see how long you can live. Su Yan's eyes flashed coldly. He thought to himself, Zhu Lihui's son, Zhu Gaoge. I'm going to kill him. If it were not for the Bai clan, Su Yan would have killed him long ago. Now that he had achieved his goal, he only needed to sneak into the Sky Bamboo clan to complete his next series of major events. The higher-ups of the Sky Bamboo clan are already aware of the Emperor Board's appearance. I wonder how many days it will take for the important figures of your clan to arrive at the White Phoenix continent. Bai Yunqi stared at Zhu Gaoge and said coldly, When the time comes, it'll be best for the Bai clan to welcome them. Hearing this, Zhu Gaoge smiled. Bai Yunqi, you're a smart person. I may have lost this time, but even if you make a big deal out of this, I'll just be punished. As long as you keep your mouth shut, I'll be spared some trouble. Zhu Gaoge stopped smiling and said coldly, I won't be calculated with you. Let's all quits. What do you think? That's easy for you to say. Bai Yunqi sneered, then turned around and left. Zhu Xiaoming was worried that Bai Yunqi would not let the matter rest and would expose the matter. However, Zhu Gaoge knew that Bai Yunqi would not be able to threaten him at all. Instead, she would become his enemy. This would not benefit her or the entire Bai clan. At night, White Phoenix City was bustling with noise and excitement. The Bai clan held a banquet and invited the experts of various clans. The Bai clan has found a treasure. Many people were speechless. Xia Kunlun had caused the Kai clan to suffer heavy losses, which was equivalent to getting rid of their greatest threat. Moreover, this person was a rogue cultivator without any faction. Some people thought that Xia Kunlun would most likely stay in the Bai clan. Mother, this is great. The Kai clan has joined the Chaos Grotto Heaven, and their clans have escaped overnight. Their ancestral land has been preserved. Bai Yunqi smiled beautifully. She held an old lady's arm and welcomed the guests. Where's Kunlun? Why haven't I seen him? The old lady looked around. He didn't come? Bai Yunqi's face glowed with a sweet smile. She looked around in confusion and said, I guess he doesn't like crowds. Hearing this, the old lady patted Bai Yunqi's hand and said in a low voice, Yunqi, you're not young anymore. You've been managing the clan's affairs all these years, and you're very brave. I think this Xia Kunlun is not bad. Mother, what are you talking about? Bai Yunqi was stunned. She was now the strongest person in the clan other than the Bai clan's patriarch, and shouldered the heavy responsibility of making the clan prosper. The Bai clan had never mentioned marrying her off. You understand. You should have a man by your side to share your burden. The old lady laughed. Although she had never seen Xia Kunlun, a young expert who could defeat Kai Yuan was no small figure. Bai Yunxi's heartbeat quickened. Her eyes were complicated, and there was even a hint of undetectable anticipation. It was not until midnight that the Bai clan sent off the guests. Bai Yunxi walked alone in the Bai clan's ancestral land. Her face was red, and she was a little drunk. Suddenly, Bai Yunxi appeared and disappeared mysteriously and came to Su Yan's secret abode. She bit her red lips and stood outside the secret abode, hesitating for a long time. Finally, she took a deep breath. Just as she was about to knock on the door, she found the door of the secret abode was pushed open. Su Yan looked at Bai Yunxi with a stunned expression. She was wearing a red dress. She was tall and slender, and her skin was snow-white and delicate. She was very feminine. Under the illumination of the night, Bai Yunxi was dazzling. Miss Yunxi, why are you here in the middle of the night? Su Yan was surprised. Aren't you going to invite me in? Bai Yunxi chuckled. Her voice was soft and very pleasant to the ears. Because she had drunk too much wine, Bai Yunxi had some charm and looked charming. Please come in. Su Yan smiled bitterly and invited Bai Yunxi in. Chapter 1405. Young Lady Yunxi, please take a seat. Su Yan greeted Bai Yunxi. Even though he was confused and didn't know why she had come in the middle of the night, Su Yan still had to rely on Bai Yunxi's identity to enter the heavenly bamboo clan. Bai Yunxi sat on the stone bench. She was slightly embarrassed. It was the first time she was alone with a man in her life. Moreover, it was late at night, and she was the one who had taken the initiative to come. She was more or less embarrassed. If the members of the Bai clan saw this scene, she wouldn't be able to count them even if she had 10 mouths. Bai Yunxi's expression was slightly awkward. She paused for a moment and said, Are you used to living here? You've been in our Bai clan for some time, but we haven't talked much. I'm used to it. Su Yan smiled. Young lady is always busy with the clan's affairs. It makes most men feel ashamed. Bai Yunxi smiled bitterly. Even though our Bai clan has existed for many years, it hasn't produced many experts. It's just a drop in the ocean in the vast, eternal heavenly domain. It's not worth mentioning. I don't understand. Bai Yunxi looked at Su Yan and said, With your talent, why did you choose our Bai clan? It's not difficult for you to enter an immortal sect. It's not because I have no choice. Su Yan couldn't help but laugh. I offended an expert of the sovereign sect during the trial of Bloodpath. If you didn't invite me, I wouldn't know where I would be now. Su. Bai Yunxi's eyes narrowed slightly as she stared at Su Yan. Su Yan cursed in his heart. I've seen many storms. How can I fail at such an easy task? I'm too impatient. You're like a ball of mist. I really can't see through you. Bai Yunxi frowned slightly and said, I don't think you'll stay in the Bai clan forever, right? A man's ambition is to travel far. Su Yan replied, I have some matters that are very troublesome. I won't stay in the Bai clan for too long, so as to avoid causing trouble for your clan. Bai Yunxi's frown deepened. She asked, Is there anything I can help you with? If you do, feel free to ask. Our clan will forever remember your help to the Bai clan. If there is a need, the Bai clan will naturally not sit idly by. There are some things that I need to solve myself, Su Yan replied with a smile. All right. At this time, Bai Yunxi took out a bee skin pouch and handed it to Su Yan. 500. Su Yan was stunned. Inside the bee skin bag, there were a total of 500 stalks of immortal herbs. Bai Yunxi actually gave him so many, this made him extremely surprised. I have reconciled with Zhu Gaoga, but someone has to take responsibility for the leak of the 10 Gates Chinquan formation. Bai Yunxi said proudly, The 300 stalks are yours now. That old bastard won't dare to say anything. Also, I promised you 50 stalks before, and the extra 100 stalks will be the fee for your help this time. I know it's very little, but our Bai family's storage of immortal medicines is very limited. Don't think it's too little. How could that be? I'm already very surprised. Su Yan laughed. He was currently penniless and really needed some money. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Bai Yunxi told Su Yin about the Sky Bamboo clan. If someone from the clan came, they would definitely invite Su Yin to further his studies. Once the second stage of the Emperor Road battle began, all the major immortal sects and orthodoxies would be in need of manpower. Bai Yunxi guessed that the Sky Bamboo clan would definitely spend a lot of resources to train some battle generals. Therefore, Bai Yunxi did not want to miss this opportunity. This should be very important to Su Yin as well. Young mistress, do you mean that you wanted to go as well? Su Yin asked. That's right. The Sky Bamboo clan is an extremely powerful immortal sect. They have been passed down since ancient times and have a very strong foundation. Bai Yunxi nodded and said, if you join the Sky Bamboo clan, it will be very beneficial for you. Although the Sky Bamboo clan is not a sect, the clan's external forces have developed very quickly. I heard that because of the opening of the Emperor Road, the Sky Bamboo clan has spent a lot to train a group of battle generals. I'll think about it. Su Yin was not in a hurry to agree. Bai Yunxi's expression was slightly gloomy. She stood up and forced a smile. Someone from the clan will definitely come in a few days. You should think about it quickly so that you won't hesitate. I'll take my leave first. Su Yin sent Bai Yunxi off and closed the door behind him. At the entrance of the secret palace. It's the middle of the night. Can't you sit still? Su Yin felt a headache coming on as he brought Bamboo Moon out of the space-time artifact. 500 stalks of immortal supreme herbs. This is a good deal. If I join the Sky Bamboo clan, I can also freeload some cultivation resources. I can also cultivate to the peak of the immortal realm as soon as possible. Su Yin smiled and changed the topic. Bamboo Moon glanced at Su Yin and said, she waited outside for a long time before leaving sadly. Don't you know how to send her off? What do you mean by sadly leaving? What nonsense are you talking about? Su Yin was shocked. I'm staring at you. Go meditate. Bamboo Moon sat down cross-legged and stared at Su Yin with her starry eyes. She looked serious, but Su Yin could not help but laugh out loud. Time flew by. In less than 10 days, 2 envoys from the Sky Bamboo clan arrived at White Phoenix City. The Bai clan welcomed them with open arms. The 2 envoys were also very polite. Their eyes lit up when they saw Bai Yunxi. With their experience, they could naturally tell that Bai Yunxi was extraordinary. However, when they heard that it was not Bai Yunxi who triggered the monarch ranking, but a wild cultivator from another realm, the 2 envoys were moved. A cultivator from the void space-time universe. The Bamboo Origin Force was very curious. When he saw Su Yin, he scrutinized him carefully. Su Yin also displayed his strength. His chi and blood were vigorous, his foundation was solid, and his immortal energy was exuberant. The Bamboo Origin Force was very satisfied. There were very few people from the void space-time universe who could rely on themselves to tap into their immortal potential. They were as rare as phoenix feathers and Qilin horns. The Bamboo Origin Force was overjoyed. He valued Su Yin even more. He laughed and said, little friend Xia, you're indeed extraordinary. No wonder you can trigger the monarch ranking. But it's a pity. What's a pity? Su Yin was puzzled. The Bamboo Origin Force smiled. With your foundation, you'll definitely become a powerful expert in the future. Becoming an Overlord will not be a problem. That's why I said it's a pity. Now that the Emperor Road battle platform is over, you've lost a great opportunity to be reflected by the monarch ranking. Sigh, even I feel sorry for you. Didn't the outer elders of your Sky Bamboo branch reject me at the door? From what I can see, Elder, you want me to join the Sky Bamboo faction? Su Yin played dumb. Zhu Xiangming was so frightened that he almost fell to the ground. He was both shocked and furious. He did not expect Su Yin to stab him in the back. In short, Su Yin would not let Zhu Xiangming off easily. Zhu Xiangming had wasted so much of his time. If he did not teach Zhu Xiangming a lesson, wouldn't he be letting Zhu Xiangming off too easily? What do you mean? The Bamboo Origin Force's face suddenly darkened. He looked at Zhu Xiangming with a gloomy gaze. Zhu Xiangming was terrified. He stammered, I know a little about this. Bai Yunxi walked out and said, back then, Xia Kunlun was training in the blood path. He was chosen by the sovereign sect's experts and wanted to take him in. What? The The Sovereign Sect? The Bamboo Origin Force was shocked. He was chosen by the Sovereign Sect. However, when he thought about how Su Yin was able to tap into the essence of life in a barren cultivation environment, he was not surprised. People like this were valued by immortal sections. They would definitely achieve great things in the future. Even the Bamboo Origin Force had never imagined that he would encounter such a superb seedling. Once Xia Kunlun was fostered systematically, he believed that the future Xia Kunlun would absolutely be able to bring him many pleasant surprises. However, Xia Kunlun refused. He didn't know about immortal sections. Bai Yunxi said, in his rage, this expert told them that Su Yin had offended the Sovereign Sect. In the end, Zhu Xiaoming refused to accept Su Yin. I noticed that Xia Kunlun's combat strength was extraordinary, so I brought him to the Bai clan to settle down. Bastard, the Bamboo Origin Force roared like an old lion. Pooh! Zhu Xiaoming spat out a large mouthful of blood as he was blasted flying, and his body was roared to the point it was on the verge of exploding. Even though he was an elder, he was merely an outer court elder and didn't possess a formidable combat strength at all. So, how could he endure the rage of the Bamboo Origin Force? This Bamboo Origin Force was an expert that had touched upon the path to immortality. Such people were called half-step true immortals. Zhu Xiaoming was unable to endure the rage of a half-step true immortal. Coupled with the pressure from his status as an elder, he trembled. He said fearfully, I didn't know. You almost caused my clan to lose a general over such a trivial matter. Who gave you the courage? Zhu Yuanli rebuked angrily. Also, how could the Sovereign Sect order my heavenly Bamboo clan? Men, take Zhu Xiaoming down. I'll punish you when we return to the clan. Spare me, elder, Zhu Xiaoming cried. Once he was taken into custody and returned to the clan, the lightest punishment would be to strip him of his position as an elder, and all his years of hard work would be for naught. Xia Kunlun, is this appropriate? Zhu Yuanli's gloomy expression dissipated, and he looked at Su Yin with a face full of smiles. Su Yin was slightly flattered. He stood up and said, this makes me slightly fearful. I come from a lowly background, and I really don't know much about immortal sections. Ha, Xia Kunlun, my clan treats everyone equally. If you break the law, you'll be punished. No one is an exception. Zhu Yuanli laughed. He was even more satisfied with Su Yin. What he wanted was a young man with a clean identity who had no foundation in the immortal heavenly region. Once he entered the heavenly Bamboo clan, he would definitely become a capable general of their clan. The other emissary laughed as well. This was an unexpected gain. Xia Kunlun, my clan is in need of talents now. Zhu Yuanli stroked his beard and looked at Su Yin. With your talent, I guarantee that you will have a bright future on the path of immortality. Even if you have some accomplishments in the future, you won't want to stay in the heavenly Bamboo clan. You can definitely dominate any continent. Senior, you want to bring me to the clan to cultivate? Su Yin asked, even though he knew the answer. That's right. The resources are convenient. You and Bai Yunxi can both go, Zhu Yuanli said confidently. Other than some special resources, the immortal treasured herbs you receive every month are no less than 100. Of course, what are the immortal treasured herbs? They can't be compared to other special resources. The elders from the Bai clan were pleasantly surprised. The Heavenly Bamboo clan was really spending a lot of resources to nurture a group of young generals before the opening of the 10,000 Races battlefield. It would be best if they could nurture a half-step immortal Dao realm expert. One had to know that the 10,000 Races battlefield prohibited immortal Dao realm experts from entering, but experts who had touched the path of immortality could still enter. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask. Zhu Yuanli became more and more confident. He didn't believe that Xia Kunlun could sit still with such shocking temptation. Zhu Yuanli valued Xia Kunlun mainly because he didn't have any background or family. He could definitely work for the Heavenly Bamboo clan. This was what Zhu Yuanli valued the most. When Su Yin passed the test, he could be nurtured as a trusted aide. Senior, I would be unappreciative if I don't accept your kind invitation. Su Yin stood up and said respectfully, I will rely on elders' guidance in the future. Zhu Yuanli was full of smiles. He laughed loudly and said, "Good, very good. Since you have all agreed, then it will be easy." Men. Zhu Yuanli waved his hand, and two attendants walked over. He instructed, "This old man still has a mission. I need to run to the other continents. You two take Xia Kunlun and Bai Yunxi to the Green Mountain continent." "Yes, sir. I heard Lady Zhu Yao is also in Green Mountain continent. Should we?" One of the attendants asked, implying that they should let Zhu Yao meet them. Perhaps they could become capable subordinates by Zhu Yao's side. Zhu Yao. Su Yan's eyes buzzed as he suppressed the churning emotions in his heart. "What, you know Zhu Yao?" Zhu Yuanli was surprised. Su Yan said, "I have heard of the influential figures of the immortal celestial realm. Zhu Yao is even more famous. Our clan Zhu Yao is indeed extraordinary. She is currently working in Green Mountain continent. If we are fortunate enough to meet her, there might be a pleasant surprise." Zhu Yuanli laughed loudly. He could be considered Zhu Yao's elder. If Zhu Yao valued him, there was no harm in bringing him along. "A pleasant surprise? Let's hope so." Su Yan's tone was deep. Bai Yunxi glanced doubtfully at Su Yan. Did he really know Zhu Yao? Su Yan's heart was surging with waves. This was truly a case of traveling far and wide in search of something, only to find it by chance. Chapter 1406. Su Yan and the rest did not stop at the Bai family and went on their way. The followers of the Bamboo Origin Force used the space-time battleship to jump through space-time nodes. It took them 3 days to cross 5 continents and arrive at the Green Mountain continent. It was a long journey. It would take at least a year to cross 5 continents if one were to rely on transmigration alone. The Bamboo Origin Power battleship, on the other hand, could jump through time and space. It was an extremely valuable item, but most people couldn't afford to use it because it required large amounts of immortal matter to maintain it. However, the Sky Bamboo lineage was huge, and such a loss was nothing to them. To Bai Yunxi, the Green Mountain continent was a rich continent. It was one of the most important continents controlled by the Sky Bamboo lineage. It was a holy land for her cultivation. Rumble. Soon, the battleship stopped. It was filled with ancient space-time currents. The huge cabin door opened, and Su Yan and the rest walked out. He looked into the distance. Mountains and rivers stretched out one after another, and they were filled with immortal radiance. It was a magnificent sight. At a glance, he could see millions of mountains. Between the mountains, there was an abundance of immortal substance that rolled like a tide. As Su Yan breathed, his flesh and blood glowed. It was as if he had been nourished and baptized. It made him feel comfortable and energetic. The Green Mountain continent was filled with famous mountains and rivers. There were many factions entrenched in it, and there were also many blessed lands. Many of the famous mountains were filled with immortal energy, and there were experts with shocking auras cultivating there. The Sky Bamboo lineage's battleship. The arrival of Su Yan and the rest woke some people up. They used their divine senses to observe for a while, and then retracted their gazes. This kind of cultivation ground is filled with immortal substance. It's almost forbidden for outsiders. Bai Yunxi said softly, "If we didn't ride the Sky Bamboo lineage's battleship, we would have been chased away by them. If we met some bad-tempered ones, our lives would be in danger." Su Yan was speechless. The immortal heavenly domain's management of resources was too strict. As time passed, people could not help but have the mentality that if they wanted to stand out, they had to join an immortal sect. Otherwise, they would only be able to hang around in a small place for the rest of their lives. This was a cruel problem. After all, immortals did not have immortal substance to strengthen themselves. Their cultivation was so slow that it would cause them to go mad. "Sirs," 2 of Zhu Yuanli's subordinates walked up and said with a smile, "We're heading to Green Mountain City right now. This is the most prosperous ancient city in the Green Mountain continent." Buzz. One of the attendants took out a war chariot. It was completely green, and the banner of the Sky Bamboo branch fluttered loudly in the wind. This was the exclusive war chariot of the Sky Bamboo clan. It was extremely fast. In the vast and mysterious world of the undying heavenly domain, it would be difficult to travel without a powerful flying treasure. The war chariot enlarged, and the wheels began to rotate. With a rumble, it sped away. Along the way, Suyin enjoyed the beautiful scenery. This place had verdant hills and limpid waters, birdsong and fragrant flowers. Mountains and rivers connected one after another, and some of the terrains were no small matter. They could even nurture natural treasures. The Green Mountain continent was very large. The Rich continent was more than 10 times larger than the White Phoenix continent. One could only imagine how terrifying this number was. With Suyan's speed, it would take him more than half a year to traverse the entire Qingshan continent. Suyan, all of a sudden, a weak will flashed and exploded in Suyan's mind. Remember this place. He clenched his fists tightly as his pupils scanned the surroundings. It was as if the boundless scene had been stripped away from him. Layers and layers of images flowed into Suyan's sea of consciousness. There were no factions here, and it was considered a rare black plain in the Green Mountain continent. The undying substance was also relatively thin. Could there be something special about this place? I can sense the presence of the primogeniture. After a long time, the weak will of the giant bamboo reverberated in Suyan's sea of consciousness again. This made Suyan ecstatic. Could the place where the primogeniture fell be the Green Mountain continent? Quickly, find some good herbs to help me recover some of my consciousness. After saying this, the giant bamboo fell into dead silence. All these years, he had been holding on to his last breath. Suyan also fell into silence. After 2 days and 2 nights, a majestic ancient city appeared at the end of the horizon. Green Mountain City. By Yunshi's heart trembled. This ancient city was majestic and boundless. The ancient city was like the majestic lion of the Green Mountain continent standing between heaven and earth, surging with abnormally terrifying and ancient energy waves. Suyan's gaze stared unblinkingly at Qingshan City. This city was indeed very majestic. The sun, moon, and stars filled the sky as they lined up in the sky above the city. The moonlight scattered down from the stars, strengthening the natural essence of the city. The war chariot drove unimpeded toward Green Mountain City. The patrolling guards of the city gate did not dare to stop them and let the war chariot enter Green Mountain City. The war chariot quickly stopped and arrived at the city lord's mansion. 2 attendants got off and said, "Sirs, the teleportation formation from the Green Mountain City Lord's Mansion to our ancestral land will only open half a month later. We must use the teleportation formation to cross continents. If we rely on the warship, it will take a long time. You can stay in the City Lord's Mansion for a few days." "Half a month? Okay, we understand." Suyan nodded. He wanted to ask about Zhu Yao's whereabouts, but he held back as he did not want to arouse their suspicions. Although Suyan wanted to kill Zhu Yao, it was more important to enter the heavenly bamboo lineage. "Suyan, why don't we go out for a walk and broaden our horizons?" Bai Yunxi asked with a smile. "Since we are already here, we must take a look." Suyan nodded and they walked out together. Suyan's heart was heavy. It seemed like Zhu Yao was not in Green Mountain City. Could she have left the Green Mountain continent? "Calm down. Especially at times like this, we must not be anxious. We must not lose our composure." Suyan tried his best to calm down. Although the killing intent in his heart was boiling, he had no one to rely on in the immortal heavenly domain. He had to be careful. This was the most prosperous ancient city in the Rich continent. People came and went on the streets. There were many strange creatures and powerful ancient beasts. It was bustling with noise and excitement. Suyan went to some shops. There was a dazzling lineup of treasures. It could be said that there was everything one could think of. There were even true immortal treasures for sale. However, the price was too outrageous. It easily required tens of thousands of immortal treasures. Even Bai Yunxi could not afford such things, although she was the most outstanding disciple of the Bai clan. However, her wealth was limited. Are there any secret medicines that can nourish the soul? Suyan also asked around in some shops. He wanted the giant bamboo to recover as soon as possible. He only had half a month in the Green Mountain continent. Calculating the distance, It was enough for him to go to the place where the heavenly bamboo progenitor fell. Of course, what kind of medicine does Mr. need? A little maid warmly welcomed Su Yin and took out many secret medicines. Su Yin naturally did not care about the ordinary ones. Moreover, they were of no help to the giant bamboo. What he needed was an 8th-tier golden core secret medicine. However, these things were too expensive. Su Yin was speechless. There was a medicine that could heal injuries, but it was expensive. It required tens of thousands of immortal treasures. Isn't this too expensive? Su Yin was dumbfounded. He only had 500 immortal treasures on him. This kind of medicine is very expensive. Bai Yunxi could not help but say, after all, it is a secret medicine that nourishes the soul. It is many times more expensive than other golden cores. I really underestimated it. Su Yin shook his head and smiled bitterly. He was really poor now. A few hundred immortal treasures were a fortune in the White Phoenix continent. However, in the Green Mountain continent, it was only a drizzle. It was not worth mentioning. Actually, for the experts of the immortal sex, breaking through is not a problem. They do not have to be so calculative like us. Bai Yunxi sighed. However, there are always some miraculous medicines in the world that can improve one's potential. It is even said that there are secret medicines that can strengthen one's life essence. These things are even more valuable. They cannot be measured with money. They are priceless. However, Bai Yunxi whispered, with your potential, you will definitely be able to obtain some rare resources from the Heavenly Bamboo Sect. If you're really in need of such treasures, you can use the resources to exchange for them. There is no need to rush. Su Yin nodded slightly. If he wanted to get rich, he had to rob a true immortal. He missed the adventure in the secret realms in the Xianwang universe. However, he did not know much about the immortal heavenly domain. Thus, he could only take it one step at a time. Su Yin wandered aimlessly in the limestone city. Along the way, he heard many things that were related to the monarch rankings. However, there were only a few peerless geniuses who could shake the entire immortal heavenly domain. It was already impressive for them to be famous in more than a dozen continents. As for spreading their name across the entire immortal heavenly domain, only the successors of the most powerful orthodoxies could do so. The universe is too big. It is too difficult to find traces of a Yuan and the others. Su Yin took a deep breath. Although the Qingshan continent was a rich continent, it was only the tip of the iceberg in the vast, immortal heavenly domain. Finding someone in the immortal heavenly domain was like finding a needle in a haystack. Bai Yunxi's understanding of the Emperor Road was also limited. It seemed like he had to go to the Heavenly Bamboo Sect if he wanted to find out more about the Emperor Road's final battlefield. At night, the Qingshan city was brightly lit. Su Yin and Bai Yunxi were on their way back to the city lord residence. Boom! Suddenly, there was a series of loud explosions. The entire street was in chaos as the passers-by quickly retreated. Oh my God! 9 immortal ancient beasts pulling a carriage. What a grand scene! The passers-by were shocked to see 9 powerful ancient beasts pulling a carriage with dragon carvings across the void. The wheels of the carriage made loud noises as it rolled over the ground. This is too ostentatious. Who is it? Someone was so angry that the carriage dashed forward without any restraint. No one knew who it was. Do you want to die? Can't you see that it's a carriage from the Heavenly Bamboo Sect? The people inside are either rich or noble. Someone scolded his companion. His expression changed. The Qingshan city was the property of the Heavenly Bamboo Sect. Who would dare to criticize the sect's experts? The passers-by on the entire street retreated. Bai Yunxi also retreated far away, not wanting to get into trouble. Su Yin was also watching from afar. He stared at the carriage that passed by. The carriage itself was extremely powerful. It was an immortal artifact. The entire carriage was covered in dazzling, immortal inscriptions, and its defensive power was amazing. When the curtains on the carriage were gently lifted, a beautiful yet slightly domineering face appeared before everyone's eyes. Moreover, her eyes were filled with majesty, making people not dare to look directly at her. It's her. The entire street was in chaos. Everyone knew the most outstanding pearl of the heavenly bamboo sect, Zhu Yao. She was the strongest female sky pride of the heavenly bamboo sect. She had many suitors. She was a true sky pride. She could be considered a noble lady in all the major immortal sects in the immortal heavenly domain. Xia Kunlun, what are you doing? Bai Yunqi's expression changed when he saw Su Yin walking forward. In the process, Bai Yunqi's expression changed. His appearance was slightly different from before. His white robes had turned black, and he looked completely different. What was going on? Roar. The 9 ancient beasts roared. Their vitality was unparalleled. They roared angrily at Su Yin, who was walking toward the carriage. Su Yan's aura was completely different. His long black hair danced in the wind, and his powerful aura was released. It was filled with cold, killing intent. When Zhu Yao's gaze landed on Su Yin, her expression changed slightly. This person's aura was familiar, but she could not remember where she had seen it before. Who are you? Zhu Yao frowned. She felt threatened, but this feeling was ridiculous. What kind of place was this? Who dared to behave atrociously here? Su Yin strode forward and punched out. A terrifying aura filled the air, and the sky was torn apart. The 9 ancient beasts roared and released their strongest battle strength. However, they could not stop the bloody hurricane. They exploded, and their flesh exploded. Blood stained the void. Su Yin did not say a word. However, he was exploding. It was getting more and more terrifying. Eventually, his pores spewed out a monstrous aura that drowned the sky and earth. It pierced through the clouds and shook the entire Green Mountain city. Boom! The entire city shook violently as if it was about to collapse. Even the entire sky was shaking. That person soared through the sky like the return of the emperor. The entire space was under his feet. His hair danced in the wind, and his golden aura suppressed the entire world. Crazy. Everyone trembled. Their scalps were about to explode. This ruthless person attacked Zhu Yao directly in Green Mountain City. Chapter 1407. Su Yin attacked powerfully without any hesitation. He was too decisive. His heart had been suppressing the flames of hatred for so many years. But at this moment, Su Yin couldn't hold back any longer. Even if he had to pay some price, Su Yin didn't care. I can't bear it anymore. Why should I? Su Yan's hair danced in the wind as he pressed forward step by step. His heroic bearing became increasingly imposing as he tore through the shackles of a human body. In the end, his aura surged, terrifying beyond compare. An unparalleled pressure was released, covering the entire ancient city. Killing intent overflowed into the heavens, so cold that it caused all life in the universe to shiver. The 9 ancient beasts pulling the carriage were blasted apart by Su Yan's fist. Blood dyed the heavens. This bloody scene caused countless creatures to panic. Madman, what kind of ruthless person is this? A young demon king. What are his origins? They were terrified as they looked at this black-clothed youth with trembling eyes. He was powerful to an inconceivable degree. He was like an overlord soaring through the skies, overlooking all life in the universe. Su Yan's aura was too cold, as if he had drunk the blood of millions upon millions of lives. Great misfortune. He is definitely a great misfortune. Some people trembled, unable to withstand the young demon king's killing intent. Their bodies were stung with pain as if they were about to be torn apart. Who is this person that dares to attack Zhu Yao here? This shocking scene was too sudden. It erupted just like that. A young demon king had awakened in a heaven-defying manner, releasing a terrifying killing intent as he attacked in a domineering manner. Bai Yunqi was stunned. He fell weakly to the ground as he stared at Su Yin with fear and trepidation. It was as if he had encountered a great change in his life. His heart was filled with disbelief. Was this still Xia Kunlun? He was 10 times more terrifying than before. He was like a young, true, immortal who could suppress the universe with a raise of his hand. Who was he? Could he be a heaven-defying descendant nurtured by a peak orthodoxy? But why did he attack Zhu Yao? This was the Sky Bamboo lineage's territory. Once a great figure from the sky bamboo lineage came out, who could contend against them? But Su Yin still erupted. The gods and devils in this region howled as the entire world darkened. The weather changed. It was extremely frightening. In this pitch-black world, there was only that person who was heroic and tyrannical, callous and peerless. It was as if all life was trembling beneath his feet. "Bastard, who are you?" Zhu Yao's expression changed in anger. She clenched her fists tightly, and her eyes spat fire. This was a great humiliation. Someone was trying to kill her in Qingshan City. Although this wasn't strange, it was the first time in his life that the other party had made a move in Qingshan City, the territory of the Sky Bamboo Branch. "The person who will kill you," Su Yin angrily roared. His essence, energy, and spirit once again went berserk. He was like a comet tearing through the sky to strike Zhu Yao. In an instant, the scene changed. It was as if the heavens and earth were falling apart, and a huge explosion occurred in the void. Energy fluctuations surged out, bombarding the entire Green Mountain City, causing it to shake violently. In this shattered space-time, nothing could be seen. The only thing that could be seen was a fist exploding out and destroying the entire carriage. The broken pieces of the chariot filled the sky, dancing between heaven and earth, cutting through the void. Zhu Yao staggered back and was sent flying. Her eyes were filled with rage as she waved her hands like lightning to block the fists that continued to bombard her. Bang! The two collided, and the sound of thunder exploded in the void. It was deafening. Zhu Yao's face was ashen. She barely managed to block Su Yan's tyrannical fists. She glared at Su Yan and said, "I don't care who you are or what power you come from. I want you dead." Su Yan was cold and emotionless. His long black hair draped over his shoulders, and his pores spat out vigorous blood energy like clouds in the sky. It quickly drowned out the entire space-time. The most powerful battle strength erupted, and a terrifying aura pierced through the heavens and shook the starry sky. Su Yan's life force was terrifying and boundless. Large black cracks appeared in the huge Green Mountain City, and it was in danger of collapsing. At the critical moment, the Great Formation ignited to protect Green Mountain City. Zhu Yao was in pain. Her arm was broken, and she screamed miserably. This was the first time in her life that she had encountered such a predicament and despair. She didn't even know who the enemy was and was about to be crushed to death by Su Yan. "Who the hell are you?" Zhu Yao's eyes were bloodshot as she circulated 120% of her strength to resist Su Yan. However, this person was too wild. His head of black hair danced in the wind like a waterfall. His moves were wide open as he pressed forward to suppress Zhu Yao. This was too wild and tyrannical. He erupted with his peak state, and an invincible aura pervaded the air. "Kill!" Su Yan roared. His aura swallowed everything within 100,000 li. Boundless golden ripples sprayed out from his mouth and nose, shattering the power that was obstructing him. His roar shook the sea of stars. Even Green Mountain City, which was within the Great Revival Formation, trembled. Even a vast expanse of buildings exploded. Zhu Yao's body trembled. She was dizzy from Su Yan's roar, and blood flowed out from the corner of her mouth. Zhu Yao's heart was filled with fear. Who was this person? He was like a supreme demonic lord, and simply unrivaled. When that person arrived in front of her, everything became blurry. No matter how powerful Zhu Yao's aura was, she was suppressed by Zhu Yao. She was also completely suppressed by Su Yan. She appeared very weak, like a speck of dust beside Jizun. "Bastard!" Zhu Yao roared angrily. She erupted from her predicament and did her utmost to resist Su Yan, who was suppressing her. However, immediately afterwards, the mature cultivators were all dumbfounded. The young Devil King was too tyrannical. The moment the immortal matter within his body surged, numerous immortal true dragons pierced through the heavens and reached the peak of the universe. It formed a terrifying scene. His meridians are like heavenly dragons, and his life essence is terrifying to the extreme. This is a supreme overlord. Someone roared uncontrollably. He saw immortal energy surge out from the young Devil King's body even more turbulent than the ocean. This was an absolute suppression of life essence. It completely suppressed Zhu Yao. No matter how great this noble lady's talents and potential were, she was still suppressed to the bottom of the valley. Extreme danger assaulted her. Zhu Yao's mind trembled. She erupted with secret techniques in succession and formed defensive immortal runes in an attempt to stop Su Yan. Boom! Su Yan almost went berserk. He fiercely raised his large hand and smashed apart her defensive divine abilities. Moreover, his palm grabbed her shoulder. Just how ferocious was Su Yan? His battle stance was terrifying as he forcibly removed one of Zhu Yao's arms. Ah! Zhu Yao roared in pain. Her entire arm was torn off, and she was in so much pain that she almost fainted. How terrifying! This is too savage. Is this the supreme overlord of that race? He's too tyrannical. That's Zhu Yao. She's being crushed and almost dead. Everyone trembled. Was this still an immortal? His aura was as vigorous as a young true immortal's, and his life essence was also quite ridiculous. It's Miss Zhu Yao. At this time, a large number of experts came from a distant world. They were all furious, and their eyes were about to split open as they roared. Who are you? How dare you? Those who block me will die. Su Yan let out a furious roar that caused several immortal cultivators to tremble. Soon, their bodies exploded into bloody light. He was like a demon lord returning from hell, bathed in blood and berserk. Stop him! Several half-step true immortals were terrified. They also erupted with their strongest power and evolved immortal paths to stop this madman. Su Yan's body was burning. Soon, his flesh shell was golden, and his aura was much stronger. This was Su Yan's strongest state. It shocked the universe and starry sky. He was like a golden overlord overlooking the 9 heavens and 10 earths, dominating the world. That's a supreme treasure body. What kind of constitution is that? The young Devil King is deliberately hiding it. Let me see if he can see through it. Everyone was stunned. He was actually able to increase his battle prowess once again. Was he still human? Could he be an overlord that was ranked in the top 30 of the monarch rankings? A supreme ferocious beast that was qualified to compete for the position of supreme on the monarch rankings. Kill! Su Yan turned into a human-shaped weapon and attacked the experts blocking his way. These people were all immortals, and there were even half-step true immortals. But who could match Su Yan's state? The cultivators blocking his way were like a group of scarecrows. Many of them were bleeding from their 7 orifices, and their guts were torn apart by Su Yan's roar. The half-step true immortals were in despair. His strength could blur the immortal path, causing their cultivation realm to drop. Even if it was the immortal path evolved by half-step true immortals, Su Yan could use his supreme strength to shatter it. A large number of experts screamed miserably and were sent flying. Many of them were filled with hatred. Who exactly is he? The experts who were still alive dared. What kind of vicious person did Zhu Yao provoke? He attacked without caring about the consequences, slaughtering dozens of experts. 3 half-step true immortals were killed by him. Come and accept your death. All of this happened in a short period of time. Blood rained down from the sky. That figure became larger and larger, cold and emotionless. His might shook the universe, causing all living beings to feel suffocated. Everyone was suffocating. In the end, he rushed over. He destroyed all the experts blocking his way and attacked Zhu Yao. Zhu Yao took out a peak immortal killing weapon. It was a snow-white sword core, resplendent and blazing. It could easily cut apart the great stars of the universe. The killing sword pierced through the sky, stabbing towards Su Yan's fist. Zhu Yao retreated. She felt a fatal threat and rushed towards the city Lord Manor. Bam! A loud explosion rang out, making Zhu Yao's heart tremble. Su Yan's fist imprint was matchless. With a rumble, he destroyed the sword core. What kind of tyrannical body was this? It was invincible. Even the immortal killing sword could blast it into dregs. The golden body of Su Yan pounced over. His figure crossed the heavens. He was too fast, almost ignoring the laws of time. The moment he descended from the sky, the entire world changed. It was as if a rain of blood was falling from the sky. The entire Green Mountain City was covered in blood red. This was the end of the world. The aura made people panic and tremble. What kind of great Tao is this? It affects heaven and earth in Green Mountain City. Some slumbering true immortals woke up. They found it hard to believe. What kind of great Tao was this? It affected the order of heaven and earth. It was equivalent to replacing the heavenly Tao. How could it be so tyrannical? Could it be that the inheritor of some ancient orthodoxy had come into being? Did he want to use Zhu Yao to establish his might? A world of blood enveloped the world of mortals. It was as if a domain had appeared, drowning the world of mortals and enveloping countless creatures. I can't take it anymore. What is this? Many people seemed to have gone mad. They were roaring. They felt as if they were in the midst of heavenly punishment, about to be judged. Suddenly, they saw a person appear in the world of blood. He was like the ruler of a domain, grand and ancient. He controlled the heavens and was about to bring down a matchless heavenly punishment. Who exactly are you? Zhu Yao was terrified. Goosebumps appeared all over her body. This person was simply impossible to match. Once they encountered him, they would almost certainly face death. Her scalp was about to explode. Moreover, there was nowhere to run. She directly erupted with her most powerful combat strength. She was naturally powerful, her life essence extraordinary. She displayed a series of great divine abilities to resist Su Yin. But what was the point of this? When the ruler of the world of blood descended, his palms pushed out billions of calamity symbols. Doubt the robbery. A cold voice exploded, entering deep into everyone's souls. It was as if the ruler of the universe had spoken, bringing down heavenly punishment, bringing down a judgment from the heavens. Plop! Countless people knelt on the ground. They couldn't take it at all. This type of spreading calamity aura entered deep into their souls, about to suppress their souls, great Tao, and flesh. It was as if nothing belonged to them. What exactly was this? Just what kind of world-shaking secret technique was this? How long? The aura of calamity engulfed the entire sky. It was as if a brilliant rain of blood was scattering down. Moreover, it surged with the aura of a vast universe of calamity. It pressed down just like that, capable of destroying the world. I refuse to believe I can't stop you. Zhu Yao roared. She activated more than 10 great divine abilities, fighting until the heavens were boiling. Divine force rumbled like a tsunami. Zhu Yao went mad. She activated more than 10 great divine abilities that could shock the world and make ghosts and deities weep. Moreover, she ignited her life essence to bombard the world of blood. A terrifying collision erupted. Loud noises echoed through the sky, shaking everyone's hearts. Heaven, overflowing divine ability, power engulfed the world of blood. However, what Zhu Yao found inconceivable was that the world of blood was like a great universe of calamity. It poured down energy that no one could match, devouring everything. This world of blood was vast and boundless. There was no end to it. Suddenly, 2 large blood-colored hands pressed down, representing the heavens. Zhu Yao's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. She activated her strongest combat power and blasted out a large number of secret treasures to block Su Yan's supreme killing technique. However, the result was chilling. All of Zhu Yao's protective power exploded. More than 10 secret treasures were destroyed. They were completely unable to block Su Yan's killing technique. Moreover, the entire street collapsed. Large cracks even began to spread towards the distant world. This also caused a small portion of the entire Qingshan city to collapse. The destructive power was too shocking. Zhu Yao, who was standing at the center, suddenly spat out a large mouthful of blood. Her entire body was cracking. Even her protective armor exploded, revealing her snow-white body that was stained with blood. It was exposed to the eyes of everyone. Countless people were stunned as they stared at Zhu Yao, the #1 noble lady of the heavenly bamboo lineage, who was famous among the immortal sects, had her armor destroyed and became a naked woman stained with blood. Some people thought that the fierce person did it on purpose. He must have an irreconcilable grudge with Zhu Yao. Damn it! Zhu Yao roared at the sky. Her eyes widened in anger and blood flowed out. She hated to the extreme. A furious aura was born from her body. She wanted nothing more than to tear the entire celestial domain apart. Her body glowed on its own, turning into a protective armor that covered her blood-stained jade body. She hadn't lost her mind yet. She quickly fled. If she didn't leave now, she would die here. In the ruined Qingshan city, Su Yin was like an awakened fiend god in hell. He tore apart all shackles and attacked Zhu Yao with lightning speed. Su Yin waved his hand, and a war spear flew out from the ruins. Su Yin directly threw the war spear. It was like a bolt of lightning that tore through space and time. This attack was too fast and too domineering. It was like the spear of the Grim Reaper. It pierced through her shoulder and nailed her to the gate of the city Lord Manor. The war spear was still buzzing. It pierced through Zhu Yao's shoulder and nailed her to the city gate. You won't be able to escape. Your life is mine, Su Yin said coldly. His deep eyes were filled with bone-chilling, killing intent. His anger had not yet subsided. I just finished writing a big chapter. Chapter 1408. The blood-stained spear pierced through the sky at an extremely fast speed. Zhu Yao, the famous noble lady of a generation, had her battle clothes torn apart. Her snow-white body was stained with blood, and she was nailed to the gate of the city lord mansion by a spear. This scene was frozen in everyone's eyes. It was enough to be unforgettable for the rest of their lives. Subconsciously, some people felt excited. In this world where the immortal orthodoxies ruled the world, who dared to challenge the authority of the immortal orthodoxies? But now, someone had stood out and defied the heavens. He had beaten up the #1 girl of the sky bamboo branch, Zhu Yao, and nailed her to the gate of the city lord mansion. After all, she was completely naked. Many people felt their blood boiling as they shouted in their hearts, "You scared me to death." Who was that? That was the famous noble lady of the undying heavenly domain, Zhu Yao. Her battle clothes were torn apart, and she was nailed to the gate of the city lord mansion. Zhu Yao screamed in pain. She was about to go crazy and wanted to kill herself. Su Yin was humiliating her. Since she wanted to go to the city lord mansion, Su Yin would send her on her way. The entire city lord mansion was filled with cultivators of the sky bamboo branch, but they were all trembling. Countless people fell to the ground and couldn't stand up at all. Su Yin was like a supreme demon lord that had descended between the heavens and the earth. The ferocious aura that rose from his body surged endlessly, suppressing all living beings in the universe, causing the huge Qing mountain city to appear dim and dull. Su Yin, can you not kill her? At this time, Bamboo Moon's voice came, waking Su Yin from his murderous thoughts. Why? Su Yin frowned. He wanted to kill Zhu Yao immediately and make her pay with her life for what she had done. This was a heaven-sent opportunity, and he didn't know when he would have to wait for the next time. After all, if Zhu Yao had been protected by an expert, Su Yin wouldn't have taken the risk. Although he had killing weapons and trump cards, Su Yin wouldn't use them unless absolutely necessary. Because Zhu Yu stood in the space-time treasure. Her white robes made her look like a fairy. She was graceful, dignified, and beautiful. At this moment, she exuded an extremely cold aura. Her eyes were filled with hatred as she enunciated each word. In the past, she bullied me because I was weak. I really want to kill her myself. Okay. Su Yin was silent for a while. It was a bloody scene. Zhu Yao fell to the ground in pain. Who are you? This young Devil King's appearance was very unfamiliar, but Zhu Yao felt that this person's aura was somewhat familiar, but she couldn't remember where she had seen it before. After all, Zhu Yao and Su Yin had never interacted before. If Zhu Yao and Zhu Changjiao had been here, they would have been able to recognize him as Su Yin. Don't worry, I won't kill you. Su Yin looked down at her from above. He looked down at Zhu Yao and said indifferently, I'll come back for you. Remember, your life belongs to me now and in the future. If I'm in a good mood, I'll come back and beat you up again. You bastard. Zhu Yao let out a hysterical roar. She was so angry that she almost fainted. This was a great humiliation, a humiliation that she had never experienced before. It was truly a fate worse than death. How could someone as proud as her endure such humiliation? At this moment, Su Yin suddenly attacked and slapped Zhu Yao's forehead. Her forehead was shattered. Su Yan's hand reached in and grabbed a time ring that was hanging in her mind. No, Zhu Yao's expression was panicked. Her life savings were hidden in the time ring. If Su Yin snatched it away, she would be left with nothing. There was even a portion of evolutionary fluid hidden in the time ring. She had gone to great lengths to obtain it. If she lost it, the consequences would be unimaginable. Her clan would be punished. Boom! Just as Su Yan's hand was about to reach in and touch the time ring, Zhu Yao's forehead suddenly rippled. Waves of ancient fluctuations suddenly surged out explosively from the center of Zhu Yao's forehead. It was like a true immortal was awakening, and it was peerlessly powerful. Moreover, a shocking scene appeared in space. It was a figure that filled the entire spacetime. It flowed with a terrifying spiritual aura. It said coldly, "Who dares to harm my descendant?" Scram! Su Yen roared. His clothes exploded, revealing his golden body that surged with peerless power. Bang! He waved his fist and punched forward. Every punch contained the power of Su Yan's primordial spirit. Punch after punch, he attacked the primordial spirit projection in the space-time. A total of 9 punches erupted, each stronger than the last. Su Yan's peerless combat strength surged. In the end, he destroyed the primordial spirit projection and destroyed the true immortal's primordial spirit projection. Everyone present was horrified. This was too domineering and decisive, making them tremble in fear. It was to the extent where they also caught onto a type of exceptional and unrivaled battle strength. This was a boundless great power that was almost impossible to change. What kind of person was he? What kind of bloody experience did he have to go through to forge such a terrifying spiritual will? Who dares to attack Green Mountain City? Suddenly, the sound of thunder exploded in the silent Green Mountain City. The vast space-time collapsed, opening up a deep space-time tunnel that stretched very far. One could see clearly that at the end of the tunnel, there were terrifying existences passing through one after another. These were definitely true immortals who crossed the space-time tunnel. They were powerful beyond compare and released an unparalleled true immortal great Tao. 3 true immortals from the Sky Bamboo lineage have come. The people in the city cried out involuntarily. These were true immortal powerhouses. They usually hid in the heavenly paradises and rarely came out. Now, Green Mountain City was facing a devastating attack. The 3 true immortals immediately rushed to Green Mountain City when they received the news. Their speed was extremely shocking. In a short period of time, they crossed the space-time tunnel and rushed to Green Mountain City one after another. However, to everyone's surprise, Su Yin did not leave. He was still in the city. What was he trying to do? Was he trying to fight a true immortal powerhouse to the death? The world acknowledged Su Yan's strength, but the young people in the world were all preparing for the Emperor's path. No one was willing to break through to the true immortal realm now. When the 3 true immortals arrived at Green Mountain City and saw the tragedy here, their expressions changed to anger. Boom! The entire Green Mountain City was surging with killing intent. This was the supreme immortal might that gushed out, filling the entire Green Mountain City. It even continued to spread, sweeping through the vast territory. Zhu Yao, the 3 true immortals were furious. They let out shrill roars. The stars in the universe fell down and smashed into the ground, creating many large black holes. Doomsday scenes were everywhere. It was a ghastly sight. The entire Green Mountain province seemed to be surging with the fury of a true immortal. Countless creatures were alarmed, worried that the true immortal powerhouse would unleash a massacre. Once this kind of existence was angered, millions and millions of corpses would fall. A sea of blood would flow. It was inhumane. Who did this? The three true immortals roared in anger. It was too miserable. Zhu Yao was almost beaten to death. Her forehead was fractured and her arms were torn off. Her entire body was covered in wounds. Of course, this was not important. Her battle clothes were actually destroyed, leaving her naked. This was simply worse than death. Who exactly was it that was humiliating Zhu Yao? It was me, Su Yin replied coldly. He looked at the three true immortals and said indifferently, I don't want to kill her now. Well, I'm happy. I'll come and kill her. This voice was like the voice of a devil from the nine hells. Everyone was terrified. Their blood was frozen. Large amounts of experts trembled in fear, finding it difficult to breathe. They were all trembling, thinking that they had misheard. This lunatic, someone's body trembled. This was really a lunatic, a ruthless person. How could Zhu Yao provoke such a ruthless person? She was basically being targeted by this ruthless person. Bastard! The three true immortals were so angry that their hearts and lungs were about to burst. Boundless anger surged out, vast and peerless. In an instant, the entire universe collapsed and surged towards Su Yin. The following scene made the world fall silent. That person disappeared, turning into a faint green stream of air. It was completely destroyed, as if he had never been here. Roar! Mournful roars echoed in Green Mountain City. It was like a churning sea that swept through the land of Green Mountain Province, causing the sky to collapse. This was a great humiliation. The three true immortals' eyes were about to split open. Their roars shook the entire starry sky. They were really about to die of anger. He left just like that and disappeared. This kind of humiliation made the true immortals unable to control themselves. They were really about to go crazy. Immediately, lock down Green Mountain City. No, lock down the entire Green Mountain Province. One of the true immortals was still able to maintain his composure. He spoke in a cold voice to the people who were rushing out of the space-time tunnel one after another. Immediately go and seal off the entire Qingshan continent. I don't care who that person is, he must die. The world is going to change. The people in Green Mountain City were terrified. The world was really going to change. The immortal sects were furious and wanted to lock down the entire Green Mountain Province. This was a huge matter, although Green Mountain Province was under the jurisdiction of the Sky Bamboo Branch. However, there were also some old monsters with shocking origins in Green Mountain Province who were hibernating in the famous mountains and rivers, not caring about worldly affairs. However, once the entire province was locked down, the consequences would be severe. It would probably anger some old antiques. However, the Sky Bamboo Branch was furious. If they insisted on doing so, no one could stop them. If they did not get to the bottom of this humiliation, the Sky Bamboo Branch would definitely lose face. Aren't you leaving? Su Yin was still in the city lord's residence. Bai Yunqi's face was as pale as snow. Su Yin was not going to leave. He actually dared to stay here. Did he not know that the three true immortals of the Sky Bamboo Branch were entrenched in the city? How could Su Yin not be worried? However, the one Qi into three pure ones was not just a clone technique. It could also improve the aura of Su Yan's soul. Even ancestor-level experts would not be able to see through Su Yan's true colors. Thus, as long as he did not say anything, and as long as there was not a particularly terrifying powerhouse paying attention to him, it would be impossible to see through Su Yan's true colors. Su Yan looked at Bai Yunqi without saying a word. Bai Yunqi clenched her fists and whispered, "Are you going to kill me to silence me?" Tears flowed from her eyes, but she stubbornly raised her head and looked at Su Yan. "If so, I will not resist. I do not have the strength to resist. However, please take good care of my family, even if it is for Shuang's sake. Don't let your imagination run wild. I'm here for revenge. I will not implicate others." Su Yan was calm. He sat cross-legged in the room and said, "This is just one of my clones. I will stay here and continue to enter the Sky Bamboo Branch. However, I need you to forget a memory from before." Bai Yunqi suppressed her emotions. Bai Yunqi suppressed the emotional fluctuations in her heart. She didn't want to forget. She wanted to remember. She even wanted to know who Xia Kunlun was. Su Yin directly erased a part of Bai Yunqi's memory. Bai Yunqi did not resist and erased this part of her essence spirit's memory. Soon, Bai Yunqi fell asleep in the room. As for his other clone, it had already left the city and was heading to the place where the sky bamboo ancestor had fallen. His movements were very fast as he fled far away from this troublesome place. Su Yin was also looking forward to it and was nervous. This was because Su Yin did not know if Bamboo Moon's aspect seed was really in her time ring. Previously, I posted a picture of the naked Zhu Yao. Quickly follow my WeChat public account. Search Azure Sky and immediately see the inhumane images. Chapter 1409. Su Yan's avatar traversed space. For safety's sake, he placed all his wealth in this avatar. In short, the 3 Pure One state meant that he had 3 lives. The death of any avatar wouldn't affect Su Yan's life. Moreover, with his foundation, even if his avatar was destroyed, it wouldn't be a problem to rebuild it. After 2 hours, Su Yan's avatar stopped and looked behind him. The commotion in Green Mountain City was a little shocking. In the direction of Green Mountain City, immortal pressure filled the air, surging with anger and killing intent. It even spread to this region. The influence was too great. What's happening in Green Mountain City? In the vast mountains and rivers, many cultivators awakened from their meditation. They were all frightened as they looked in the direction of Green Mountain City. Immortal Tao suns were released one after another. It was indescribably terrifying. The 10 immortals released their killing intent, and they crossed the major regions of Green Mountain Continent. Everywhere they passed, great waves rose to the sky. I'd better be careful. Su Yin frowned slightly. Zhu Yao had almost been killed by him in Green Mountain City in front of countless people. How could the Sky Bamboo bloodline let the matter rest? If they used tyrannical means to detain an expert of unknown origin, Su Yin would probably suffer. Soon, Su Yin approached a famous mountain range. He concealed his aura and used strange methods to break through the domain here, breaking into the local forces of Green Mountain Continent. Su Yin lay dormant, his figure sinking into the earth. He dove for tens of thousands of feet and then opened up an underground cave. He planned to stay here for a while to avoid being discovered by the immortals. I wonder if it's inside? Zhu Yu walked out of the space-time treasure, her face full of anticipation. She had lost the fruit of the way for several years, and it was obvious that Zhu Yao had not refined it. Otherwise, if Su Yin had forced her into such a situation, Zhu Yao would have used all of her means to protect herself against Su Yin. Since it wasn't there, it meant that the Sky Bamboo seed wasn't easy to refine. It should be inside. She would definitely keep something so valuable close to her body. Su Yin took a deep breath and broke the seal on his essence soul in his time ring. In the sealed Azure Mountain City, Zhu Yao lay in her private chamber, heavily injured. She coughed up blood, and her expression was fierce and vicious, filled with hatred. My time ring. Bastard. That's my life savings and a level 6 evolution fluid. Zhu Yao was so angry that her entire body trembled. The seal on her time ring had been broken. Zhu Yao let out a furious roar. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Cough, cough. She was so angry that she coughed up blood continuously. Her fists were clenched tightly, and her face was filled with malevolence. Zhu Yao, don't think too much. Just focus on recovering. The true immortal expert who was tending to his wounds consoled him. The murderer won't be able to escape. The Green Mountain Continent has already set up an inescapable net. No matter how strong he is, he won't be able to escape. We must catch him. We must. Zhu Yao clenched her teeth. How could the anger in her heart be appeased? Blue veins bulged on her face as she continued to cough up blood. How could Zhu Yao take this lying down? The funny thing was that she didn't even know who the enemy was. Now that she had calmed down and seriously thought about it, she still didn't know who had done it. However, the young Devil King's combat power was so domineering. Such an outstanding person couldn't be a nobody. The Sky Bamboo branch was confident that they could dig out Su Yin. In any case, no matter how fast Su Yin was, he couldn't have crossed the Green Mountain Continent and left. When she thought about how her treasure had been used by Su Yin again, Zhu Yao was so angry that she fainted. As for Su Yin, his face was gloomy. Although he had gained a lot, he hadn't gotten what he wanted the most. Su Yin, didn't Senior Giant Bamboo say that we have a second chance? Bamboo Moon sat in front of Su Yin. She smiled and said, some things can't be rushed. Anyway, you can't continue to attack. The seat of the sky bamboo Dharma idol might be with Zhu Li Hui. Su Yin sighed. He had been hiding here for a while and had seen several true immortals pass through. Even the local forces he had been hiding in were questioned by the true immortals. In short, the 10 true immortals of the sky bamboo branch were like crazy demons. They detained and took away anyone with unknown origins. They didn't believe that they couldn't dig out Su Yin, as expected of a disciple of the sky bamboo branch. Very rich. At this moment, Bamboo Moon stared at the various heavenly treasures piled up on the ground. It was a spectacular sight. There were more than 10,000 immortal herbs. What kind of concept was this? The number one of the Bai family, Bai Yunxi, was only worth 1,000 immortal herbs. However, Zhu Yao's time ring had 13,000 of them. Su Yin was speechless. She had really become rich overnight. A pillow came when I wanted to sleep. I really have to thank Zhu Yao. Su Yan's face was full of smiles as he kept the immortal treasure. Then, he focused on observing the other treasures. Su Yin felt that in the immortal heavenly domain, although the immortal treasure was the currency, it was definitely not a top-tier resource. There might be other resources for the cultivation of the immortal realm. You should be able to find them in Zhu Yao's time ring. Su Yin, these sealed jade bottles contain golden core secret medicines. Bamboo Moon's eyes lit up. Her snow-white cheeks flashed with a surprised smile. Her slender, jade-like hands found 16 jade bottles. Su Yin broke all the seals on the jade bottles. He had obtained 12 immortal golden cores. These immortal golden cores are rare items that can mature the battle physique. They contain a large amount of immortal substance. Su Yin said, but they are useless to me. I can sell them for a good price. The rest were all healing pills. Soon, Su Yin was pleasantly surprised. He found 2 pills that could nourish the primordial spirit. Although I don't know what kind of pills they are able to heal the primordial spirit. But from the looks of it, it can restore a person's soul. It will definitely be helpful to Senior Giant Bamboo. Su Yin stretched out his hand. A ball of blazing flame spurted out from his palm. He refined the pills into liquid. Then, he sprinkled bamboo leaves on the withered bamboo leaves. The bamboo leaves glowed. Under the nourishment of the primordial spirit recovery liquid, the leaves began to bloom with vitality. Even the weak soul energy inside them began to grow rapidly. Su Yin laughed heartily. Now that Zhu Yao could wake up, he also had a backbone. After all, Su Yin did not know much about the immortal heavenly domain. With the help of Zhu Yao, he would be able to avoid many detours. What's this? Bamboo Moon held an emerald jade cauldron. This cauldron was extremely exquisite. It was carved out of rare jade and was filled with a very special liquid. Su Yin was surprised. He stared at the jade cauldron. The liquid in the cauldron was very special. He could not see anything special about the blue liquid. This jade cauldron was reinforced with more than a dozen seals. Obviously, Zhu Yao attached great importance to it. When Senior Giant Bamboo wakes up, I'll ask him if he knows. Su Yin did not open the seals on the jade cauldron. He was afraid that the cauldron's medicinal efficacy would be lost. He guessed that this cauldron must be extraordinary. Next, Su Yin found a large number of heavenly treasures in Zhu Yao's time ring. There were a lot of them, and Su Yin could not name any of them. However, they contained extremely dense immortal substances. Bamboo Moon was pleasantly surprised. With these herbs, Su Yin's improvement would definitely skyrocket. Although reaching the 8th heavenly layer was not difficult, reaching the 9th heavenly layer would be difficult. The amount of resources required would definitely be huge. And the resources in Zhu Yao's time ring would definitely be enough to satisfy Su Yan's cultivation. After all, in order to become an expert in the immortal heavenly domain, the immortal Tao realm was the most important goal. Su Yin had to quickly come in contact with the immortal Tao realm. Su Yin, is there anything special about these black stones? When Zhu Yu saw Su Yin inspecting a large batch of black stones, there were about a dozen of them. Each of them weighed about 50 kilograms. She was surprised and did not feel that the black stones were special. Su Yin stretched out his hand. The black stones were only the size of a fist, but they weighed more than 100 kilograms. He used his palm to rub the surface of the ancient stone and smiled. Maybe this is the most important thing. Gotcha. Su Yin exerted force on his palm and cracked the surface of the black stone. It was like a sealed sun, blossoming with resplendent, multicolored light. It was very blazing and dazzling. When the surface of the stone fell off, a fist-sized substance appeared in front of their eyes. This substance was entirely green, and it was swallowing on its own. There was actually a strong light of life blossoming within it. Bamboo Moon was shocked. As the green substance swallowed, the entire cavern space-time rumbled and fluctuated. Its influence was too shocking. What is this? Su Yin was greatly shocked. It was even more special than he expected. The green substance seemed to contain life. It was breathing and surging with vitality. It was surrounded by immortal mist. It was extremely mysterious. Su Yan's palm shone and absorbed a strand of green energy from it. Boom! In a split second, Su Yan's body recovered. His flesh and blood were bright. His qi and blood were vigorous. His body's functions were huge. Inconceivable. Bamboo Moon cried out in surprise. Under the nourishment of the green energy, Su Yan's body shone. The immortal energy within was strengthening. Even his flesh shell was being nourished. This type of cultivation speed was more than 10 times faster than refining immortal precious medicines. Bamboo Moon's eyes widened. This was definitely an extremely precious, top-quality resource, not something immortal precious medicines could compare to. Ha ha ha, we're rich this time. Su Yin cried out in excitement. After crazily absorbing more than 10 strands of green energy, this lump of substance also weakened by a large amount. However, Su Yan's aura became much more vigorous. His aura was quickly advancing towards the 8th heavenly layer. It wasn't even limited to this. Su Yin discovered that within the green energy, there was a type of immortal Tao substance. This had a nourishing effect on Su Yan's body, suspected to be able to strengthen his life essence. Su Yin suppressed the excitement in his heart. He intercepted a strand of green energy from his palm and sent it into Bamboo Moon's body. This energy could be considered a great tonic. It could cleanse the body and strengthen one's life essence. He felt that it would also be of great help to Bamboo Moon. Indeed, under the nourishment of the energy, Bamboo Moon's delicate body blossomed with multicolored light. Her declining body's functions were strengthened, and her entire person seemed to have become several years younger. Su Yin was excited. He definitely didn't expect this thing to be so special. It could solve the problem of Bamboo Moon's life essence. My body has recovered a lot of vitality. Bamboo Moon smiled happily. This treasure is really too precious. I wonder what it is. I reckon that it is an extremely important cultivation resource in the sky bamboo lineage. In short, this was the first time Su Yin came into contact with it. He didn't know what it was called. Unfortunately, the green energy was only extracted a few dozen strands before it collapsed. Su Yin continued to open the second one. This was a milky white energy body. Its effect was almost the same as the previous one. Su Yin laughed heartily. It seemed that he was very close to entering the 8th heavenly layer. Time flew by. 3 days later, a strand of vast aura covered the entire Qingshan continent. Boom! The vast mountains and earth rumbled violently. The sun and moon in the sky shook, and then they were drowned by a terrifying aura. Time seemed to have stopped. Su Yan's scalp went numb. What kind of person was this? The aura drowned the entire Qingshan continent. It was truly outrageous and terrifying. This vast energy even spread into the distance. Even the nearby continents were rumbling. A terrifying change. Billions of living beings in the Qingshan continent trembled. Many cultivators prostrated themselves on the ground, unable to raise their heads. The old antiques of the nearby continents were shocked. They whispered, "What happened in the Qingshan continent?" It alarmed the Zenith Heaven true immortals. Send an order to investigate. Chapter 14:10. The entire Green Mountain continent was in an uproar. This was a rich continent, full of talents and experts. But to them, a Daluo true immortal was like a dream, an expert they could only look up to. The entire Green Mountain city was in an uproar. A Daluo true immortal uncontrollably leaked his blood and chi, sweeping across the entire Green Mountain continent. Even the surrounding continents rumbled, causing a shocking change. Rumble. The entire continent trembled along with the blood and chi. The mountains and mountains rumbled. The moment the blood and chi surged in the Green Mountain continent, a terrifying figure was awakening. Daluo, true immortal. Countless cultivators trembled and bowed down in worship. That figure alone was enough to suppress their souls, making them unable to summon any thoughts of resistance. They were all subdued by his majestic appearance. Many factions and sects in the Green Mountain continent were uneasy. They had heard some rumors recently, but they could not verify it. Now that a true immortal of the great firmament had descended upon Green Mountain City, it had caused a shocking storm. His blood had flooded the entire rich continent. How could they not be shocked by this scene? Even the experts of the nearby continents were terrified. They all gave orders to investigate this matter. So strong. Su Yan was shocked. This was the top expert of the heavenly bamboo. This was the overlord of the undying heavenly domain. Even someone as strong as him was frightened, as if he was being targeted by a supreme being who could kill him at any time. Something happened to Zhu Yao, and now the Daluo true immortal of the clan is here. Is it Zhu Lihui? Su Yan's eyes flashed with a bone-chilling coldness, looking at the towering and terrifying figure standing in Green Mountain City. Could it be Zhu Lihui? It's him. Giant bamboo suddenly woke up. The withered yellow leaves glowed, surging with an ancient will and a murderous aura. Su Yan was silent as he looked at the figure in Qingshan City. It seemed that this was a true immortal of the great, all-embracing heaven. This was a supreme figure in the immortal Dao realm, and this was Su Yan's enemy, Zhu Lihui. Experts of this level are rare even in the vast, undying heavenly domain. They're usually in the central heavenly domain. Although this is a rich continent, it's still a small place for experts of this level. Giant Bamboo said, "A Daluo true immortal is not scary, but a Daluo golden immortal, Zenith Heaven golden immortal." Su Yan was moved. He knew of the true immortal realm of the great firmament. This was an expert who had reached the pinnacle of the immortal Dao realm and was known as the great firmament. However, Su Yan did not know much about the golden immortal, nor had he heard of this realm. This realm is very terrifying. It is already very impressive for an immortal sect to produce one in each universe epic. Su Yan was flabbergasted by Giant Bamboo's exclamation. It was already amazing to have one in one universe epic. In that case, cultivating a Zenith Heaven golden immortal would be even more difficult than cultivating a supreme overlord of the younger generation. Su Yan's emotions surged. This was a realm that existed only in legends. The conditions required to become a golden immortal are extremely special. First of all, the supreme treasure body is only one of them. The Bamboo Moon was shocked. The supreme treasure body was only one of the conditions. Then, she did not know what kind of special reason was needed to become a golden immortal. How big is the gap? Su Yan asked. The gap is about the same as the immortal realm. However, the probability of being born between the two is like heaven and earth. Su Yan was shocked. The gap was too big. Even the probability of being born was extremely slim. Giant Bamboo also said that the difference was like heaven and earth. The difficulty was too shocking. The Emperor Road is a place of fortune to become a golden immortal. Giant Bamboo added, "You can see the uniqueness of the Emperor Road. It is a place that must be fought for. The battles between the top 100 are extremely fierce." The top 100 of the Emperor ranking was already a supreme honor. However, the most terrifying place of fortune in the Emperor Road was where even the top 100 would fall. It was hard to imagine how earth-shattering the battles would be. However, even the supreme overlords would risk their lives for the sake of becoming a golden immortal. Su Yan. At this moment, the bamboo leaf glowed and turned into a bamboo. It said to him, "You have great potential. There will be a place for you in the top 100 in the future." Top 100? Su Yan shook his head slightly. That was not what he wanted. You actually got the immortal Tao stones. Giant Bamboo was surprised. It looked at the immortal Tao stones on the ground. There were still about 700 gene left. The rest had been refined by Su Yan. He was very close to the 8th heavenly layer. It would not be long before he broke through. These are immortal Tao stones. Su Yan smiled and said, "Senior, these stones must be very valuable, right?" "Of course," Giant Bamboo said. "In the immortal heavenly domain, the immortal substance is rich in Emperor's tribulation. After accumulating for a long time, the essence of heaven and earth would form immortal or veins. There's a certain chance of producing immortal Tao stones in these or veins. This is a top-notch cultivation resource and is also the currency of the immortal heavenly domain. This thing is very rare and precious. Immortal Tao realm cultivators need immortal Tao stones to strengthen their strength. Moreover, this resource is almost monopolized by the immortal Tao orthodoxies. Even absorbing the energy of immortal Tao stones can strengthen one's life essence. However, the amount required is huge. A few hundred gene is not enough." Giant Bamboo stopped talking. Soon, his illusory shadow floated above the green jade cauldron. "Where did you get this thing?" Giant Bamboo was shocked. His voice was filled with excitement. "Senior, is this thing very valuable?" Su Yan told Giant Bamboo about Zhu Yao's matter. This surprised and delighted Giant Bamboo. He said, "Su Yan, you must be careful. Do not be careless. If you fail, all your previous efforts will be wasted." Su Yan's heart was heavy. Even a zenith heavenly true immortal was here. He naturally knew the severity of the situation. "Of course, you obtained a grade 6 life essence evolution fluid. The risk was worth it." Life essence evolution fluid? Su Yan was stunned. He asked, "Life essence can be evolved?" "Of course." Giant Bamboo nodded and said excitedly, "This thing is too rare. From grade 1 to grade 9, grade 1 is the weakest and grade 9 is the strongest. Although it is only grade 6, it is still very valuable. It is almost impossible to buy. Only the flourishing immortal orthodoxies have the ability to gather precious immortal minerals and rare herbs to refine this kind of evolution fluid. Of course, even so, it is extremely difficult to gather a furnace of it without tens of thousands of years." Su Yan was flabbergasted. This thing was too precious. "Open the seal and refine it directly. It is useless to keep it." Su Yan did not hesitate. He opened more than 10 layers of seals. When the blue liquid was exposed to the air, it changed. It was completely different. It was as if it had a life of its own. It was flowing, awakening, and releasing a vast life force. In fact, it was accompanied by a medicinal aroma, immortal mist, and a majestic life force that was blossoming. Bamboo Moon only took a few sniffs and felt as if she had ascended. She was also dumbfounded. This kind of evolution fluid was too outrageous. Su Yan opened his mouth and swallowed the life essence evolution fluid. In the blink of an eye, his flesh glowed and his blood energy surged. His body was blazing as if it was about to explode. Su Yan let out a low roar. At first, he was in pain. It was as if his skin and bones were being peeled off, as if he was being burned in a furnace, as if his tendons and bones were being dislocated. Immediately afterward, his flesh turned red as his blood energy swelled and his tendons and bones began to resonate. This was a kind of terrifying life evolution energy that nourished Su Yan's body, causing his life essence to strengthen and flourish. Almost with every breath, Su Yan's surging aura became a little stronger. Suyan's life essence was already outrageous. Now, under the stimulation of the grade 6 evolution fluid, his life essence strengthened once again. Even Su Yin felt that his indestructible avatar was strengthening on its own and was advancing toward minor success. Immediately afterward, Su Yin used the immortal Tao stone to replenish the nourishing energy required for the evolution process. Time passed slowly. After half a day, Su Yin had refined another 50 kilograms of immortal Tao stone and exhausted the grade 6 evolution fluid. However, Su Yan's life essence had been forcibly increased by a level. This made him excited. This thing is too outrageous. It can even strengthen my life essence. It's the same as strengthening my path of immortality. I never thought there would be such a miraculous medicine in this world. Su Yan's blood energy was too vigorous. It had formed an immortal dragon and almost caused the defensive formation to explode. He's getting stronger and stronger. Zhu Zhu was shocked. I've underestimated Su Yan. He has a certain chance of entering the top 30 on the Emperor rankings. If he has some opportunities in the future, he might even enter the top 10. Su Yan's flesh shell shone brilliantly as he sat cross-legged in the underground universe. His body glowed as he was nourished by the evolution fluid. He had vaguely grasped a kind of shackle that locked down his supreme life essence. He pondered. Back then, Su Yan's life essence had been activated by the Emperor rankings. Unfortunately, it hadn't completed the evolution. Now he had grasped this feeling. Su Yan was surprised and happy. If he could find a higher quality evolution fluid in the future, he might have a great chance. Originally, I was about to step into the 8th heavenly layer. However, because my life essence has improved a lot, it will take some time. Su Yan's words made Zhu Zhu laugh. This is normal. Even a true immortal can obtain a lot of room for improvement after evolving. In short, the immortal realm is the beginning of the path of life essence evolution. You still have a long way to go. Su Yin naturally knew that he had obtained the secrets of Xian Wang Universe's evolution. However, he hadn't touched upon the higher level of life essence evolution. Perhaps only when he reached the true immortal realm would he be able to touch upon the majestic path of evolution. Senior were still some distance away from the place where ancestor Tianzhu died. However, Su Yin spoke of his worries. Zhu Zhu replied, "It's fine. I've recovered a bit of my mental power. I can explore space-time and avoid the true immortal's location in advance." Senior, is there any hope of a complete recovery? Su Yin was expectant. I don't know. Zhu Zhu sighed and said, "However, if we can successfully return to the family, we should be able to obtain the precious medicine in the forbidden area." Su Yan's heart was burning. Zhu Zhu had the ability to open the forbidden area of Tianzhu's ancestral land and obtain the fortune. Su Yin, I notice that your primordial spirit is extraordinary. The focus of your cultivation should be on the transformation of your primordial spirit. If you can obtain some primordial spirit precious medicine to help your primordial spirit transform, you'll be able to obtain the means to shock your peers in the Emperor's Road. Su Yin nodded and took Zhu Zhu's words to heart. Then, they quietly left the underground cave and began to cross to the place where ancestor Tianzhu died. Meanwhile, in Bluestone City, the true immortal of the grand, all-embracing heaven's anger had subsided. However, there was still a lingering aura. Trash. Zhu Lihui was furious. The two true immortals were trembling. After all, several days had passed, and they still couldn't find any clues. Could it be that Su Yin had really left? Zhu Lihui's face was gloomy. He tried to deduce, but he didn't gain much. Could the Grand Ancestor be here for the Tier 6 evolution fluid? Zhu Yao's injuries had recovered a little, and she said with a face full of hatred. Hearing this, Zhu Lihui shook his head slightly and said, "That's not very likely. The Tier 6 evolution fluid isn't enough to make some factions go crazy. In the past, there had indeed been a case where a powerful enemy had attacked and killed the clan's legacy disciples to steal the evolution fluid. Of course, they weren't here for the evolution fluid. They were here for the formula of the evolution fluid. The formula of the life essence evolution fluid was not something that any faction had. If the formula of this evolution fluid could affect the fate of the clan, one could imagine how valuable it was. Once, the Tianju's clan had refined a Tier 8 evolution fluid, which caused a huge commotion and even helped the clan to become a Daluo Golden Immortal. One could imagine how ridiculous this evolution fluid was. Its value was too high, and they wouldn't sell it out. Of course, the resources required to refine it were even more frightening. It would easily take hundreds of thousands of years to accumulate the herbs. As for the legendary Tier 9 Life Essence Evolution Fluid, it was something that even the Xian people would find difficult to refine. That was because the materials required were too valuable. It involved ultimate treasured herbs and even supreme treasured materials like the Universe Fate Stone. I've lost the Tier 6 Evolution Fluid and caused our clan to lose face. Patriarch, please report this to the clan for punishment, Zhu Yao said with a trembling voice. The impact of this incident would most likely be shocking. Who would have thought that Su Yin would act so crazily in Qingshan City? Of course, Zhu Yao wasn't worried that Zhu Lihui would punish her. After all, they had a private deal. Zhu Yao, you're not guilty in this matter. I'll deal with it fully, Zhu Lihui said indifferently. As for the evolution fluid, the clan will compensate you. Compensate me? Zhu Yao was shocked. The clan didn't have much in stock. Moreover, the Tier 6 evolution fluid she had was something that couldn't be bought with money. It was something that Zhu Yao had prepared to improve herself further. Counting the time, it's almost done. Zhu Lihui smiled. Since the Emperor Road has opened, our clan is naturally prepared. We've been preparing to brew a furnace of evolution fluid since a few years ago. If we're lucky enough, we should be able to refine a Tier 7 evolution fluid. The two true immortals kneeling on the ground were excited. A Tier 7 evolution fluid was incredibly valuable. If Zhu Yonghua could absorb it, she would definitely improve. Zhu Yao was silent. Even if there was a Tier 7 evolution fluid, it wouldn't be hers. At most, it would be a Tier 6 evolution fluid. At this moment, the two true immortals gathered their courage and asked, Patriarch, how should we deal with the madman? Zhu Lihui's eyes flashed coldly as he shouted, continue to seal off the Qingshan continent. Also, disable the cross-continent teleportation circles in the nearby continents. I'll activate the Heavenly Secret Stage. No matter where he's hiding, we must dig him out. The Heavenly Secret Stage, the two true immortals exclaimed. This was the Heavenly Bamboo Progenitor's treasure. Although Zhu Yao was a noble, did she have the qualifications to make the clan activate the Heavenly Secret Stage? After all, once the Heavenly Secret Stage was activated, the resources required would be astronomical. Of course, if they really activated the Heavenly Secret Stage, they would definitely be able to locate the madman. The most important thing was to find out his identity. De Zhang. Chapter 14:11. The situation in the Green Mountain continent was tense. There were very few experts from the outside world who wanted to avoid trouble. In the past few days, the Sky Bamboo Branch had detained many powerful cultivators, causing many forces to complain and complain. However, they still couldn't find any traces of the young Devil King. This matter was a heavy blow to them. The true immortals of the various clans were also enraged. They searched the entire world for Su Yin. They didn't believe that they couldn't find him. Su Yin walked and stopped all the way. After spending 3 days, he finally arrived at his destination. This was a great black plain that stretched for millions of kilometers. Because of the thin aura of life, there were very few living beings that appeared on the black plain. Su Yin could not tell what was so special about this place. He walked on the black plain and looked around. He felt that the soil was very hard and the starry sky was very deep. There was even a kind of pressure, as if the sky was about to fall and suppress him. Su Yin was moved. He stared at the starry sky. His essence, qi, and spirit were released. Majestic soul energy was released, covering the vast space-time. There was a very terrifying force field that was blocking him. Compared to the ancient force field, Su Yin felt like he was struck by lightning. He felt weak. Su Yin was shocked. The force field here was very majestic. It was impossible to break it. Su Yin also endured the pressure and tried to observe. He wanted to know more, but when he tried to observe on a deeper level, he realized that he had yet to reach the true immortal realm. Su Yan's mind was in a daze, and he was a little weak. This made him shiver, and he quickly cut off his probing. Su Yin immediately concluded that this was the most mysterious Grandmaster. This was not something he could touch. This seems to be the entrance to a mysterious world, but it is sealed, Su Yin said in secret. At this time, the giant bamboo's old voice came. This seems to be the entrance to the 10,000 tribe battlefield. Su Yin was shocked. The 10,000 tribe battlefield was the trial ground of the second stage of the Emperor Road. It was also the place where the top 10,000 contenders fought for supremacy. There were many similar entrances. Su Yin did not expect to encounter one here. In other words, the primogenitor's aura that the giant bamboo sensed was headed to the 10,000 tribe battlefield. Not good. At this moment, the giant bamboo said urgently, "Hurry up and leave this place. I was too careless. I've been exploring this area all this time, so I didn't notice that there are other experts hiding here." Su Yan's heart froze up. The powerful being that the giant bamboo tree was talking about was most likely a powerful being of the true immortal state. Su Yan hurriedly retreated and left the area. If this had been in the past, it would have been fine. But now that the sky bamboo lineage had put him on the wanted list everywhere, the consequences would be unimaginable if he were to encounter any mishaps. Bang! However, the space-time Su Yin retreated to suddenly turn cold. The energy of the immortal Tao bloomed, sealing off Su Yan's path of retreat. At the same time, a black-robed expert appeared from the space-time behind him. The black-robed old man was short, and his eyes were cold like a venomous snake. With just a glance, Su Yin felt as if he had fallen into an ice cave. It was very cold. His aura was too cold, so cold that it pierced the bones. It was as if it wanted to freeze Su Yan's blood and freeze his entire being. Wong! Su Yan's frontal bone burned brightly as powerful primordial spirit energy surged, breaking through the ice seal. The black-robed man was particularly surprised. He knew that the immortal Tao scriptures he cultivated could easily seal an undying overlord. Even the primordial spirit was no exception. However, Su Yan's primordial spirit was exceptionally powerful. It was brimming with soul energy and blazing flames. This was a primordial spirit that was close to the strength of the immortal Tao domain. This left the black-robed old man particularly surprised. This young man's primordial spirit was too powerful. Across the entire sky bamboo lineage, there were few who could match him. Swish! Su Yan's feet stepped on space-time. His aura was violent as he instantly traversed the black plains. With Su Yan's explosive strength, he could definitely reach the end in an instant. Furthermore, due to the exuberant energy, it caused space to distort. It was unable to withstand Su Yan's strength. Good lad. The black-robed old man was even more shocked. Which orthodoxy successor was this? It was fine if his primordial spirit was powerful, but just the exuberant, undying substance within his body was enough for him to look down on his peers and dominate a region. In the future, he would most likely have a place in the myriad race battlefield. However, the black-robed old man did not take action. Instead, he looked at Su Yin with a mocking gaze. Su Yin rapidly traversed space-time. His powerful body caused the black plains to shake. It had to be said that his aura was too shocking. However, just as Su Yin traversed the distance, a sea of flames appeared in front of him. It was inexplicably terrifying. Su Yan's face darkened as his mind sank into a valley. This time, he had really failed miserably. Another true immortal stepped forward. He wore a golden robe and looked very dignified. His eyes were resplendent like two burning divine lamps, illuminating the black plains. Under his gaze, Su Yan's body started to heat up. It was very unbearable. The black-robed man's aura was cold, but the golden-robed man's aura was blazing. They were two completely opposite energies. Under the suppression of the true immortal domain of ice and fire, Su Yin could not move at all. Su Yin could neither advance nor retreat. He could only stand in the void and calmly ask, "Seniors, why are you blocking my path?" You can really keep your composure." The black-robed man said in a sinister tone, "Young man, you are quite extraordinary. I wonder which orthodoxy's outstanding disciple are you? Tell me the name of your family's elder. Who knows, I might know him. The age of my master's origin is untraceable." Su Yin said in a deep voice, "I don't have any orthodoxy. My master roams the void all year round. Even if I tell you his name, you won't know." Su Yin was full of nonsense, hoping to scare them. However, these two true immortals were not easy to fool. The golden-robed man sneered, "You trespassed into our clan's territory. If you don't tell us your origin, do you think you can leave?" "What? This is one of the entrances to the 10,000 Races battlefield. Has it become your clan's private property?" Su Yin replied indifferently. The two experts' expressions changed. They did not expect this kid to know that this was the entrance to the 10,000 Races battlefield. One must know that the entrance to the 10,000 Races battlefield was not fixed at a fixed location. Even this entrance was accidentally discovered by their clan when they were searching for the fallen progenitors. But a junior of unknown origin actually directly spoke of the origins of this place, which truly made them apprehensive. "Little friend, your words are really shocking." The black-robed man sneered, "But you want to get away with just a few words? I'm afraid that's not enough. If you don't tell us your origin, you can stay here and let the experts of your clan come and ransom you." "Ransom me?" Su Yan's eyes flashed coldly as he shouted. "You guys sure talk big. I respect you guys as seniors. I don't mean to be disrespectful. If you guys want to make things difficult for me, then I'm not someone to be trifled with." The two true immortals' expressions were uncertain. Su Yan's confidence was too great, causing them to be somewhat fearful. They were also uncertain in their hearts. If they really provoked an old monster that they should not provoke, it would not be a good thing. "I'll take my leave first." Su Yan left quickly. He did not want to get into trouble. Once he caused a commotion, it would cause a huge impact. After all, there were still Daiyuo true immortals in the Qingshan continent. Time seemed to pass slowly. Just as Su Yan was about to leave the Black Plains, his eyes flashed with killing intent. A murderous glint flashed in his eyes. He turned his head and saw the two approaching figures. He said angrily, "What? You want to keep me here?" "A few days ago in Green Mountain City, a young man attacked my clan's pearl and humiliated my clan. Do you think it's you?" Old Man Black suddenly said eerily, "This concerns my clan's reputation. Whether it's you or not, you must stay here now. Wait for my clan's ancestor to figure out your origin. Then he'll send you away. Su Yin, take Bamboo Moon and leave. The farther the better. I'll use my soul power to hit the entrance of the battlefield. It'll cause a space-time storm." The giant bamboo was anxious, and as it spoke, it went silent. Because Su Yin was too calm. He stood between heaven and earth and glared at the two true immortals. He shouted, "Is the sky bamboo lineage a bunch of bullies? Is it really you?" The two true immortals' auras were cold and intimidating. One side was like hell, while the other was like a sea of fire. Two extreme energies were also two extreme great Daos. Once they burned here, Su Yin couldn't stand it. This was really a combination of ice and fire. The rolling energy storm was about to tear Su Yan's body apart. Boom! They attacked at the same time, reaching out their hands to grab Su Yin. "You're the ones who forced me to do this. Killing two true immortals will most likely cause the sky bamboo lineage great heartache." Su Yan's expression was cold. He rose from the ground and soared to the top of the sky. However, the two true immortals' hands were getting closer and closer to Su Yin. They were about to cover Su Yan's body. Suddenly, Su Yin reached out his hand. A broken bronze cauldron floated in his palm. As Su Yin flipped his palm, the broken cauldron woke up with a boom. The cauldron enlarged and covered the entire sky. The world changed. It was pitch black like ink. The cauldron suddenly dropped down. Black tides came one after another. At first, these substances were relatively calm. However, when the black tides fell, the space-time trembled and soon became empty. What is this? The two true immortals' expressions changed. The rolling black substance's aura was extremely sinister, drowning the entire space-time. Moreover, these substances seemed to have a life of their own. They flowed on their own and devoured the two powerful life forms. The demonic fog could be seen with the naked eye. It flowed along their palms and surged towards their bodies at an extremely fast speed. The two powerhouses were shocked. They felt that their lives were flowing away. Their true immortal origins were leaking out. All sources of energy were being devoured by the demonic fog. Giant Bamboo was stunned. This was the dark matter. However, Su Yin had collected a huge amount of dark matter with a broken cauldron. Now, he poured down a large amount of it, drowning the two true immortals. What the hell is this? The two true immortals cried out in alarm. They erupted with their strongest energy to disperse the dark matter that covered their bodies. When they awakened, it was terrifying beyond compare. The entire Great Black Plains began to tremble, powerful auras filling the sky dome. Half of Green Mountain continent began to shake. What is going on? Could it be that they found the young Devil King? In Green Mountain continent, the expressions of many local powers experts changed. This was the aura of an immortal Tao Peak expert. It filled the vast world, crushing the endless mountains and seas until they cried out. The sun and moon fell. Immediately afterwards, the faces of the cultivators who saw this scene changed. They saw the two true immortals roar and shake the rivers and mountains. They burned their true immortal origins, as if they were resisting some kind of enemy. Damn it, what exactly is this? The two true immortals roared out, in so much pain that they wished they were dead. They were both aging, hair falling off. This left them in despair. What kind of energy substance was this? It was sucking at their lives, making their bodily functions decline. They were both going to die of old age. It was to the extent where this substance was difficult to disperse. It was like a maggot in one's bones, merging with their bodies. This left the two truly terrified, scared half to death. This thing was difficult to get rid of with their strength. Little bastard, stop right there. The two true immortals were furious. They saw Su Yin carve a domain in space-time, creating a teleportation formation that crossed space-time. Old bastards, enjoy it. You're lucky to be able to survive. Su Yin put away the broken cauldron and began to cross space-time. He laughed bitterly in his heart. If he really killed the two true immortals, the Sky Bamboo lineage would most likely go crazy. At that time, the situation in Green Mountain continent would become even more tense. Chapter 14:12. The Black Plains shook and swept across the vast world, attracting the attention of the world. Roar! The peak true immortals went berserk. Their shrill roars shook the mountains and rivers. Vast immortal auras surged and illuminated the universe. Then, a monstrous fog rose and drowned the true immortals' chi and blood. This was a scene of darkness that covered the sun. One couldn't even see their fingers or see anything. Everyone was stunned. What kind of energy could suppress the energy of two peak true immortals? Could it be another grand, heavenly expert? However, this kind of existence was hard to come by even in a rich continent. Normally, they would be entrenched in the central region. It seems to be the entrance of the 10,000 tribes battlefield. In Green Mountain City, Zhu Lihui's face was gloomy. Their clan had two true immortals guarding the entrance, waiting for the opening of the 10,000 tribes battlefield. Could something have happened there? He crossed endless rivers and mountains. When he arrived at his destination, Zhu Lihui's body tensed up. There was even a trace of fear in his heart. Could it be the dark matter here? Zhu Lihui's face was gloomy. How could such a substance appear in Green Mountain continent? It was even in the territory under their jurisdiction. This wasn't a good thing. If it wasn't handled well, it would cause a lot of trouble. The dark calamity that could cause the Xianhuang celestial region to change appeared in the undying celestial region. Would the undying celestial region's status fall in the future? In an instant, Zhu Lihui thought of many things. His expression became more and more fearful, and his scalp went numb. This was a huge matter. Once it spread, the entire undying celestial region would be in chaos. He rushed up and took out a yellow-skinned gourd to collect the dark matter floating in the air. Boom! The yellow-skinned gourd was extremely powerful. It was a precious treasure of the immortal Tao. When it was spat out, heaven and earth rumbled, and the mountains rumbled. Then, the vast space-time dimmed and was swallowed by the gourd. The gourd had the power of heaven and earth. It could even suck out the entire ocean in an instant. A large amount of demonic fog was swallowed by the yellow-skinned gourd. Then, Zhu Lihui felt his heart ache. His precious treasure of the immortal Tao had been contaminated. Its spiritual qi was greatly damaged, and its power was decreasing rapidly. It was about to be swallowed by the dark matter. It's really the dark calamity. Just like the legends, it can contaminate everything. Zhu Lihui was frightened. He was about to retreat and return his clan to ask for help. He felt that this matter was too big and out of his control. He had to report it to his family. No, the dark matter here is somewhat rare. Then, Zhu Lihui realized that the yellow-skinned gourd had already swallowed half of it. There wasn't much left. Zhu Lihui relaxed and calmed down. It was much better than what he had expected. The dark matter could still be dissolved. Zhu Lihui once again summoned an immortal cauldron to collect the dark matter. In the process, his body didn't dare to come into contact with the dark matter at all. Protective divine light also revolved around his body. When more than half of the vast darkness dissipated, a shattered black plane was revealed. The two-peaked true immortals were in terrible condition. Zhu Lihui's expression changed drastically. This scene stung his heart. Bastard! How can there be dark matter here? Zhu Lihui's expression was ferocious. These were two-peaked true immortals. Their bodies had been invaded by the devilish fog, and the dark matter was even sucking away their life energy. In just an extremely short period of time, these two true immortals had almost died. I hate it. The golden-robed man couldn't take it anymore. His life force was drying up. He let out a sorrowful roar and displayed the previous scene. The container stored a large amount of dark matter. What kind of supreme treasure is this? Zhu Lihui's scalp went numb. He saw a black-robed figure holding a damaged cauldron that stored a large amount of dark matter. He collapsed a large amount, causing such a tragedy. It seemed that this person was the black-robed youth who attacked Zhu Yao in Green Mountain City. I can't accept this. The golden-robed man let out a sorrowful and indignant cry. His body was withered and more than half cracked. The thick black matter was still flowing in his body. In the end, it began to suck away their souls. Bam! In the end, the golden-robed old man exploded. His body was shattered, and the light of his primordial spirit was extinguished. He died. Zhu Lihui, bastard! The black-robed man roared. His eyes were about to split open, and he was about to go mad with hatred. His roar caused the mountains to explode. Large cracks appeared on the ruined black plain, causing a scene of heaven and earth collapsing. Zhu Xingwen's eyes were blood-red. He had failed miserably. A junior had killed a peak true immortal. This was a great humiliation. Zhu Xingwen could barely withstand it. The main reason was that the heavenly technique he cultivated was very special. As for Zhu Lihui, his aura was yang, so he was completely restrained by the devil fog. Although Zhu Xingwen was still alive and could still hold on, he only had half of his life left. Who did this? Zhu Lihui let out an angry roar that shook the heavens and the earth. The ruined black plain collapsed, shaking the world in the distance violently. A group of experts who rushed over from afar trembled and fell from the void. They shivered, and the blood in their bodies trembled uncontrollably, causing them to feel dizzy. Some people were coughing up blood, unable to withstand the flames of anger of a true immortal. What kind of terrifying killing intent was this? It wanted to split open their souls and shatter their bodies and minds. Now, Zhu Xingwen only had half of his life left. He was hurriedly taken away by Zhu Lihui. This was a peak true immortal. Once he died, it would be a heavy blow to their group. Zhu Xingwen still had one life left, so he had to be brought back to the group to recuperate. It was to the extent that Zhu Lihui almost couldn't suppress the darkness matter in the treasure. He had to be brought back to the group to deal with it. What a pity, only one died. Su Yan was in an extremely distant area. He also caught the scene here. He felt pity. If Zhu Lihui didn't rush over in time, Zhu Xingwen wouldn't have survived. The devil fog was something that even the old ancestors of the Xian people feared. Su Yan's damage cauldron was filled with a large amount of darkness matter. Just now, a large portion of it was poured out, but there was still a lot left. However, the more he used it, the less he would use it. Unless it was absolutely necessary, he wasn't willing to pour it all out. Be content. Zhu Zhu laughed bitterly. Do you know what kind of person you killed? A peak true immortal, a transcendent existence, already very close to the true immortal realm. If one of them died and one was injured, it would lead to a huge storm. Sure enough, Qingshan continent continued to be shaken. One of the two true immortals died, and the other was injured. Even a few days ago, Zhu Yao was brutally beaten up and almost died. There were rumors that it was the same person who did it. The world couldn't believe it. The young Demon King had killed a peak true immortal. How'd he do it? As for the Black Plains, it was sealed by Zhu Lihui's immortal Tao order. The experts in the outside world didn't know about the darkness matter for now. What kind of bad luck did the Sky Bamboo Branch have? Did they provoke a vicious Demon King? The impact of this matter was huge. It affected more than a dozen continents. Some immortal sects were paying close attention. They were also quite shocked. Is the clan going to weaken? After such a big incident, they still haven't found a culprit? This is ridiculous. It's said that the old ancestors of the Sky Bamboo Branch are furious. They sent dozens of true immortals to search for the culprit. Crazy? It would be strange if they weren't crazy. A peak true immortal was killed, and an immortal at that. This is ridiculous. Just wait, this matter won't end well. Tell the disciples to stay away from the Green Mountain continent, lest the Sky Bamboo Branch bite them. In the next few days, the development of the matter made people panic. The Green Mountain continent was sealed, and all space-time injections were stopped. No one could leave. The experts were full of resentment, and they all cursed the Sky Bamboo Branch. They were too domineering, implicating them because they couldn't find the culprit. However, they didn't dare to say anything. The clan was in a fit of anger, and no one dared to say a word. In Green Mountain City, the cross-continent teleportation formation that was going to be activated was temporarily put on hold. Zhu Yao was also recuperating here, protected by a true immortal day and night. Who could be so savage as to kill a true immortal? Bai Yunxi was dumbfounded, and he muttered to himself, "The rich continent is really exciting. You can encounter anything." Even a powerful Zhu Yao was almost killed. It's a pity that I was knocked out and didn't witness the battle. Bai Yunxi was extremely regretful, and she even blamed Su Yan for not finding a way to wake her up. Su Yan said that she was knocked out by the shockwaves of the battle. This made Bai Yunxi very embarrassed, and she said in a low voice, "I heard that the Sky Bamboo Branch is serious. They're preparing to seal the Green Mountain continent's domain. They won't release it until the culprit is found." Su Yan's expression sank. If this continued, they would be exposed sooner or later. If they were really forced, who knew what crazy things they would do next? After all, the death of a peak true immortal was no small matter. Now, Su Yan's clone, who was hibernating in a treasure land in the Green Mountain continent, also noticed the subtle changes in space-time outside. "Young Demon King, is it? You little bastard, you relied on external objects to kill a true immortal of my clan. 100 deaths won't be enough to atone for your sins." An expert entrenched in the space-time outside roared, "The Green Mountain continent has been sealed. Let's see where you can run to. When I catch you, I'll make you beg for death. You won't be able to die." Experts of the Sky Bamboo Branch in various large realms all spoke ruthlessly, shaking the Green Mountain continent. Too tyrannical. Sealing a continent is no small matter. The Green Mountain continent isn't their Sky Bamboo Branch's back garden. How can they do this? Many powers were indignant. The Sky Bamboo Branch's methods were too tyrannical. Although the Green Mountain continent was under their jurisdiction, it wasn't their personal property. It wasn't their back garden. But the matter had blown up. A peak true immortal had died, and Zhu Xingwen had been heavily injured. This had infuriated the entire Sky Bamboo branch. This ancient lion was filled with world-burning fury, about to burn down the entire Green Mountain continent. Whoever can provide clues about the young Demon King will be rewarded with 5,000 gene of immortal Dao stones. These words caused great waves. 5,000 gene of immortal Dao stones was an enormous reward. Even ordinary true immortals would find it difficult to take out such wealth. Was this comparable to the 10 most wanted criminals? Even Bai Yunxi, who was far away in Green Mountain City, was alarmed. Forget 5,000 gene of immortal Dao stones. She had only seen a few hundred gene of them in her life. But the Sky Bamboo branch was rich and overbearing, taking out a whole 5,000 gene of immortal Dao stones as a reward for Su Yan. Young Demon King, just wait for your death. No one can save you. The Sky Bamboo branch mobilized an army, locking down the various strongholds of the Green Mountain continent. The clansmen issued a death order. They had to dig 3 feet into the ground to find the young Demon King. The reward of 5,000 gene of immortal Dao stones had already alarmed the local true immortals. They all left their mountain gates, searching the world for Su Yan's whereabouts. A reward for me? 5,000 gene? Even I want to sell myself. Su Yan was given a fright. He said angrily, since the matter is already blown up, we might as well blow it up even more. Let's see who can afford to wait. I bet you guys won't be able to find me. Su Yan used the damaged cauldron to suppress his incarnation, isolating all auras as he hid in an underground cave. Soon, his third incarnation appeared. Su Yan's third incarnation hid in the various large realms, probing the seals of the outer realms. He used his methods to find some flaws and loopholes. Su Yan activated the power of the terrain. His figure became one with the energy of the earth vein, and his entire body seemed to evaporate into thin air. If Su Yan wanted to leave, they could not stop him, unless a group of old ancestors came. Just like that, Su Yan successfully sneaked out and left the Green Mountain continent. Along the way, Su Yan's third incarnation did not stop. He headed to a nearby continent, the Green Cloud continent. The Green Cloud continent could not be considered a rich continent. However, it was also under the jurisdiction of the Sky Bamboo branch. Su Yan crossed all the way and arrived at the Sky Bamboo branch's resource-rich land. This was an ancient mining area. Experts of the Sky Bamboo branch guarded it all year round. This ancient mining area is not simple. Su Yan was surprised. The ancient mining area occupied a large area. The aura was ancient and had a strong sense of time. Although it was a mining area that was about to be abandoned, this mining area automatically absorbed the energy of heaven and earth as if it had a life of its own. It intercepted the energy substances in the heavens and nurtured immortal treasures. Su Yan was moved. This mining area was not simple. To an immortal sect, this was also the most important strategic resource. Most importantly, it could nurture the immortal Dao stone. This was the most important thing. Who is it? This is the Sky Bamboo branch's resource-rich mining area. The experts in the mining area looked gloomy as they looked at the figure descending from the sky. Su Yan did not hide his aura at all. He directly unleashed it. Divine light shattered the clouds and shone brilliantly. It was so dazzling that it hurt their eyes. This mining area is mine. All of you scram. Su Yan waved his hand impatiently. His words were like thunder, spreading far and wide. In the ancient mining area, divine light surged. The killing formation was also activated. There was a huge commotion. Then a few powerful old men stepped out. They looked at Su Yan coldly and said angrily, "Junior, have you eaten the Emperor's guts? Get down here right now." Just as they were about to announce their identities and arrogantly tell Su Yan that they were the owner of the ancient mining area, a black figure suddenly appeared in front of them. Who would have thought that the entrenched, black-robed youth's body would sweep over? He was extremely powerful, his life essence too domineering, like an eternally inextinguishable comet smashing over. Boom! In an instant, the world changed drastically. Energy appeared in the sky, evaporating and spreading. The aura of life overflowed. The entire ancient mining area was submerged. Golden chi and blood surged, even more turbulent than the ocean. Who are you? The strongest person in the ancient mining area was a half-step true immortal. His hair stood on end as he screamed in fear. Chi and blood flooded the entire ancient mining area. Not many people in the Sky Bamboo branch could do this. Su Yan came with killing intent. He let out a furious roar. The entire ancient mining area shook from his roar, and many ore veins collapsed. A large number of cultivators screamed. Su Yan's roar made Su Yan bleed from their 7 orifices. The immortal's body collapsed and exploded into bloody light. This was a young devil king who had descended on the ancient mining area like a god of war patrolling the sky. The Sky Bamboo branch has angered the heavens. I am the heavens' emissary, and I have come to punish the Sky Bamboo branch. Su Yan's aura tore through the sky. His figure descended with a rumble, destroying the entire ancient mining area. Rocks filled the sky. Another chapter, Chapter 14:13. Energy surged wildly in the sky, sweeping through the world. The entire ancient mine was drowned in vast chi and blood. A figure stood in the middle, his divine might awe-inspiring, as if an eternal and indestructible human emperor had returned. When he erupted, the stench of blood filled the air. His battle prowess pierced through the heavens, and he was like a supreme devil king, his roar shaking the rivers and mountains. The entire ancient mine exploded. A powerful aura filled the air, shaking the heavens and earth. Who is it? What a savage aura! In the distant world, the experts trembled as they looked at the ancient mine of the Sky Bamboo lineage. Their scalps were about to explode. Who was so domineering as to destroy an ancient mine? This power was truly barbaric. My heart, that's the ancient mine of the Sky Bamboo lineage. Many people's hearts couldn't take it anymore. They cried out loudly, stirring up boundless waves. This scene was absolutely shocking. It was too sudden and ridiculous. The ancient mine was destroyed. Who exactly are you? The half-step true immortal guarding the ancient mine was furious. He was an old man with great power. He had been in charge of the ancient mine for hundreds of years, and there had never been a case of a powerful enemy attacking the ancient mine. However, this young man, who looked like a teenager, directly attacked in a domineering manner, and even said that he represented the heavens. This half-step true immortal was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. However, he also knew how powerful Su Yan was. He hurriedly retreated, wanting to escape. I'm the one who's going to kill you. Su Yan released a furious roar. It was indescribably terrifying. The fleeing half-step true immortal trembled. He suffered a terrifying pressure on his life force, and he spat out large mouthfuls of blood. Who exactly are you? This half-step true immortal despaired. This child's vitality was like the sea, and his undying energy was exuberant beyond compare. Just like that, he crushed his way over. Even though he activated his immortal path, he was still suppressed by Su Yan's fist, and his body trembled. The blurry immortal path couldn't withstand Su Yan's supreme battle prowess at all. His offensive power was peerless. His aura swallowed 100,000 li, and his vicious aura surged. He raised his fist and smashed the immortal path apart. Bam! The terrifying fist force smashed into the half-step true immortal's body, fist after fist. The body of the half-step true immortal exploded, turning into a mass of bloody light, dyeing the shattered ancient mine red. Su Yan's long black hair draped over his shoulders. His expression was cold as he stood between heaven and earth, emitting an invincible aura. This aura was enough to suppress a person's soul, causing the starry sky to dim. A terrifying aura overflowed in all directions, causing the clouds in all directions to collapse. Su Yan is getting stronger and stronger. A strand of divine scents from the giant bamboo accompanied Su Yin. At this moment, he was shocked. The Grade 6 Life Essence Evolution Fluid had strengthened Su Yan's life force. In addition, the indestructible golden body had activated the Life Essence Evolution Fluid, causing Su Yan's life force to be exuberant. They drowned out the world. The people of this world trembled. It was too wild and valiant. The young demon lord took to the skies and looked down on everyone. The ancient mine was completely overturned, and not a single person was able to escape. What a pity! Following this, Su Yin dug out a dozen treasure vaults from the ruins of the ancient mine. There were large amounts of undying stone and even 50 kilograms of immortal Tao stone. He felt regret. After all, his incarnation couldn't always exist, and he didn't plan on returning. Thus, Su Yin threw out large amounts of undying stone from the treasure vaults, scattering them into the surrounding crowd. As for the immortal Tao stone, he left it behind. His incarnation also needed energy to replenish it. Snatch! The scene was chaotic. Snatching undying stone. A few experts from great powers were stunned. This was truly too ferocious. What kind of person was this? Throwing away so many undying stone just like that. He truly was rich and overbearing. Young Vicious left. Is he going to run? No. Looking at his destination, he isn't running, but seems to have gone to Cloud Mountain City. The surrounding cultivators were all frightened. Cloud Mountain City was also Sky Bamboo's territory and could be considered a flourishing ancient city in Clear Cloud Continent. Now that he had gone, could it be that this young Vicious was going to take action against Cloud Mountain City? Actually, for a large continent like Clear Cloud Continent, although it was under Sky Bamboo's jurisdiction, there were very few true immortals overseeing it. Usually, true immortals were rich continents. Of course, even if there were true immortals, they would still be searching for Su Yin in Clear Cloud Continent. Of course, even if he provoked a true immortal, Su Yin wouldn't be afraid. Su Yin ran rampant along the way and soon approached Cloud Mountain City. Cloud Mountain City was also very big. The city was bustling with people coming and going in an endless stream. For the great powers, the ancient city was completely forbidden to use force. After all, the cost of building an ancient city wasn't small, and no one wanted their ancient city to be destroyed. But now the cultivators in the city were panicking. They sensed that there was an abnormally terrifying life force blooming outside the city. It was like a furnace of life that covered the entire Cloud Mountain City, causing the cultivators in the city to panic. Who are you? What business do you have in my Cloud Mountain City? Cloud Mountain City was in chaos. Two half-step true immortals rushed out of the city lord's residence and glared at a young demon king who came with malicious intent. I'm just here casually. It's not a big deal. Su Yin entrenched himself outside the city and said calmly, I'm just here to rob you. The moment he said that, there was an awkward silence. The entire Cloud Mountain City fell into a dead silence. The two half-step true immortals guarding Cloud Mountain City thought that they had heard wrongly. Robbery? Coming to Cloud Mountain City to rob? Didn't he know whose territory this was? Also, did this kid take the wrong medicine? Who are you? Who gave you the guts to speak such arrogant words in the territory of the Sky Bamboo lineage? A beautiful woman with a noble aura walked out of the city lord's residence. She was the descendant of an elder of the Sky Bamboo lineage. She glared at Su Yin and shouted, Robbery? You've really lost your mind. Men, suppress him and hang him at the city gate. Are all the women of the Sky Bamboo lineage so hot-tempered? But she's not bad-looking. Su Yin took large strides forward and raised his foot to kick forward. This action caused the cultivators in the city to be stunned. Immediately after, their scalps exploded. Crazy. They were all terrified and had goosebumps all over their bodies. This young demon king was too terrifying. In an instant, he was completely different. He raised his foot and kicked a half-step true immortal away, smashing the city lord's residence's gate. His entire body swooped down and his figure crossed the ground. He crushed the city gate and created a huge crack that penetrated the entire Cloud Mountain City. Countless people were shocked. The entire Cloud Mountain City was blood red, as if the wrath of the heavens had descended. It covered the sky and covered the sun. Along with the aura of calamity, it scattered down endlessly and suppressed people's souls. "It's you!" This noble lady screamed as she trembled in fear. The young devil king that Zhu Yao had almost been beaten to death actually ran to the clear cloud continent in such a ridiculous manner. He even started a massacre in Cloud Mountain City. Once he used his robbery secret technique, bloody light covered the sun. The fluctuation of the vast universe suppressed the entire city. He's really attacking Cloud Mountain City. Is he crazy? He actually dares to attack an immortal orthodoxy. A group of onlookers who rushed over felt their scalps go numb as they approached Cloud Mountain City. The large city was covered in bloody light, and the aura was ancient and majestic. Thousands of calamity lights fell down, and the entire city lord's residence collapsed. Who is it? How dare he? There were also true immortals in the city, but they didn't stand out to stop Su Yan. They didn't want to cause trouble. After all, someone who dared to attack an immortal orthodoxy must have a powerful background. Of course, if they knew about the bounty offered by the Sky Bamboo lineage, they would most likely kill their way out to deal with Su Yan. The city lord's residence was completely destroyed. Bloody light overflowed from within, and heads flew everywhere. The cultivators in the city were terrified. A single person had swept through the entire city, and no one could match him. Even the city lord's residence's protective array was destroyed by Su Yan's violent methods. A group of protectors were like blood-stained scarecrows dancing in the sky. The scene was quite tragic. Su Yan had taken down the entire Cloud Mountain City and opened the city lord's residence's secret treasure vault. He was shocked and jealous. It would be a waste to ignore it. Therefore, Su Yan decided to seal this large amount of resources in Cloud Mountain City and wait for the future to come and take them away. Cloud Mountain City was in chaos. In just 2 hours, Su Yan retreated. Those who were still alive in the city lord's residence were terrified. The young devil king had plundered the tributes from the vassal tribes and even kidnapped a noble lady. This was truly a heaven-defying act. The major territories of the Green Cloud continent were in chaos. The young devil king had swept through the major resource mining areas and caused an even more shocking storm. This matter caused a huge uproar. Some people called the villain the High Heavens young man. The second stage of the Emperor Road is about to begin. Is a villain going to show off his peerless prowess? This isn't a mistake to target the heavenly bamboo lineage. The entire continent was in chaos. The flames of war were burning in the major territories. The smell of blood permeated the air and pierced through the clouds. The entire continent was once again dominated by Su Yan. Even the true immortals who were eyeing Su Yan covetously did not dare to make a move against him. Big news. In 4 days, the Green Cloud continent was in chaos. The unparalleled villain who brutally beat Zhu Yao and killed a true immortal has made his move. He's called the High Heavens young man. He swept through the Green Cloud continent and destroyed more than a dozen ancient mining areas controlled by the Sky Bamboo. He even took down 3 cities and kidnapped a large number of beautiful ladies from the Sky Bamboo. Is this for real? This Devil King took down 3 cities? He even kidnapped several pearls from the Sky Bamboo? Is the news accurate? Has it been verified? This news was shocking. Countless people were discussing it. After all, what kind of force was the Sky Bamboo? They were the overlord of the immortal heavenly region and had been glorious since ancient times. Who would dare to target them? However, the High Heavens young man stepped forward and took down the entire Green Cloud continent. It was said that even a true immortal tried to capture him, but he escaped. Bastard. The group of people who had put up a bounty for Su Yan were so angry that they were about to go crazy. Their hair stood on end as they roared at the sky. Young Devil King, you're courting death. They had set up an inescapable net in the Green Cloud continent and even paid a heavy price to seal off the continent. But that person had already left and started a massacre in the Azure Cloud continent, challenging the entire continent. This was a great humiliation. The people of the Sky Bamboo were so angry that their faces turned green. The The situation was not under their control at all. Moreover, the young Devil King was obviously provoking them. They were not afraid at all. Otherwise, they would not have chosen to attack the Green Cloud continent. Although the Sky Bamboo did not care about these losses, the damage to their reputation was irreparable. A large number of true immortals from the Sky Bamboo have left for the Green Cloud continent. There aren't many true immortals left. Those bullies are finally gone. I estimate that in a few days, we will be able to leave the Green Mountain continent. They even sealed off the Green Cloud continent. This time, the Sky Bamboo's reputation will be greatly damaged. Some people shouted excitedly. No one dared to challenge the authority of an immortal sect since ancient times. Just thinking about it made their blood boil. Xia Kunlun, come out quickly. Zhuya wants to see us. On this day, Su Yin, who was sitting cross-legged in his room, opened his eyes and thought to himself, "Are we leaving? My third incarnation has exhausted its energy. If I don't leave now, I'll have to spend energy to create another incarnation. The resources hidden in the Green Cloud continent. Looks like I can only wait for the limelight to die down before taking them out." This batch of resources was naturally not considered a great fortune for the Sky Bamboo. However, to a cultivator, it was already considered a great fortune. Su Yin had hidden this batch of resources deep underground, using the terrain as a cover. He estimated that unless a true immortal searched every inch of it, the chances of being discovered were very slim. Su Yin pushed open the door and walked out, heading to Zhu Yao's secret recuperation room with Bai Yunqi. Chapter 14:14. The atmosphere in the Green Mountain City Lord Mansion was tense. The expressions of the experts who came and went were gloomy. Due to the matter of the young man from high heavens, the heavenly bamboo lineage had been in chaos. They had originally thought that they would be able to find Su Yin after setting up an inescapable net in the Green Mountain continent. But who would have thought that the youth had already left the Green Mountain continent and started a massacre in the Green Cloud continent? He swept through a dozen ancient mines and conquered 3 ancient cities. The matter was getting out of hand. Some of the immortal orthodoxies were shocked. What was the background of this young demon king? How could he be so unscrupulous? Did he have the qualifications to fight against the immortal orthodoxies? In short, the Sky Bamboo lineage had suffered a great loss of face. In the era of the Emperor Road, the undying heavenly domain was at the peak of its power. However, at this critical juncture, the Sky Bamboo lineage had suffered a great setback. It was said that their dormant old ancestor was furious. The City Lord Mansion had the highest standard secret chamber. It was full of immortal matter and was indestructible. Even a true immortal would find it difficult to break it in a short time. There were many great formations in the room. The most shocking one was the one that gathered immortal matter. Zhu Yao was in the center. Her injuries had healed, and her face was full of dignity. She had regained her usual calmness. Su Yin couldn't help but think that Zhu Yao was quite a character. She could still keep her composure after such a big change in her life. "Greetings, Miss Zhu Yao." Su Yin and Bai Yunqi went up to greet her. Zhu Yao's eyes glowed like 2 burning divine lamps as she stared at Su Yin and Bai Yunqi. The two didn't hide anything. Bai Yunqi's strength was relatively weaker, but Su Yin's bodily functions were extremely vigorous. His life essence was strong, and his meridians were like dragons. Not bad. The 2 true immortals guarding Zhu Yao nodded in satisfaction. With Xia Kunlun's potential, he could be ranked among the top in the Sky Bamboo lineage. With proper training, he would definitely become a character in the future. Recently, some people from the Sky Bamboo lineage had come to interrogate Su Yin. However, it was hard to say whether there was a big or small universe in the void. Su Yin had casually made it up, and it was hard for them to verify it. Su Yin was not worried that they would be able to see through him. The I-Chi transformed into 3 pure ones was exceptionally miraculous. It could change a person's essence, Qi, and spirit. Even if they were true immortals of the great, all-embracing heaven, the chances of them seeing through Su Yin were extremely slim. How could the most powerful divine ability in history beat an ordinary divine ability? The Bai family has followed my clan for many eras. Zhu Yao calmly said, I know about the heavenly law your clan cultivates. My clan's treasury has an immortal Tao scripture similar to the Bai clan's inheritance. You can cultivate it when you return to the clan. Thank you, Miss Zhu Yao. Bai Zhoning was overjoyed. What she wanted the most was immortal Tao scriptures. If she had supreme scriptures to aid her cultivation, she would have a great chance of breaking through to the immortal Tao realm. Xia Kunlun, activate your scripture. Zhu Yao's gaze then fell on Su Yan. The latter did not hesitate and activated a scripture he had obtained in Xianwang Universe. It was neither too strong nor too weak. It was an immortal Tao scripture Su Yan had excavated from the chaos ruins in the past. Boom! Su Yan's aura surged violently. His body seemed to be ignited like a divine furnace. A huge Qianquan cauldron appeared behind him and automatically devoured the immortal energy of the secret art to strengthen his body. Not bad. The two true immortals were extremely satisfied. This scripture is very good. Although it focuses on the body, it has its mysteries. You can choose not to change the scripture and focus on the path of body cultivation. Bai Yunxi pursed her lips, wanting to fight for something for Su Yan. However, the two true immortals were so imposing that she had no chance to speak. Although he specialized in the body and had great achievements in the future, the hope of the immortal path was somewhat dim. However, what Jiao needed was a war general who could take charge of one side. She did not care about Su Yan's future cultivation space. Zhu Yao had great ambitions. The 10,000 races battlefield was the place where the progenitor had fallen. She alone was not enough. Now that she saw that Xia Kunlun was highly valued and groomed, it was possible that he could become her right-hand man. The place where Sky Bamboo's progenitor had fallen was Zhu Yao's greatest opportunity. Xia Kunlun, since you have joined my clan and followed me, I will naturally not treat you unfairly. Zhu Yao looked down at Su Yan and said, when we return to the clan, I will naturally fight for a certain amount of resources for you. When the 10,000 races battlefield opens, it will not be a problem for you to cultivate to the peak. Zhu Yao was very domineering. She did not ask for his and Bai Yunxi's opinion and directly asked them to follow her. Although there were some dangerous factors by the enemy's side, the giant bamboo said that Zhu Yao had great ambitions and could definitely fight for a lot of precious resources for Su Yan. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so Su Yan naturally would not refuse. Thank you, young miss. Xia Kunlun respectfully said, I wonder when we will return. I really want to see the immortal sex orthodoxy. Hearing this, Zhu Yao said with a cold expression, wait a little longer. The ancestor has already gone to thoroughly investigate the young Devil King. Once the heavenly secret stage is activated, we will be able to lock onto his location and see through his true appearance. For the next few days, they will stay in the city lord's mansion to cultivate. Su Yan and Bai Yunxi nodded and then slowly retreated. After the door to the secret chamber closed, the atmosphere became extremely cold. Zhu Yao's face was full of anger. How could she swallow such humiliation? If the young Devil King had not caused a series of events, then the entire world would be talking about her and not the Sky Bamboo lineage. Crackle. She clenched her fists and roared in her heart. When I find out, I will definitely grind his bones to dust. In fact, Zhu Yao's biggest heartache was the 6th grade evolutionary fluid. Although the clan was refining a new life essence evolution fluid, she definitely had her own share of it. 2 portions of the 6th grade evolutionary fluid would be of great help to her. Now that she had lost one, Zhu Yao was furious and couldn't calm down. She suddenly became very magnanimous and couldn't swallow this resentment. What is the heavenly secret stage? On the way back, Su Yan asked Bai Yunxi. Bai Yunxi whispered, I have heard of the heavenly secret stage. Rumor has it that it is the supreme treasure of the Sky Bamboo lineage. It is extremely terrifying. Once activated, it can calculate the major events of the world and even the fate of the clan. If the heavenly secret stage is activated, the young Devil King will most likely meet a calamity. Su Yan was shocked. For an immortal sect with a long history, Their supreme treasure must be extremely terrifying. Once activated, if his location was exposed, then all of his previous efforts would be for naught. Su Yan hurriedly returned to his residence and sat down cross-legged to communicate with his second avatar. He told Zhu Zhu about the heavenly secret stage. Zhu Zhu's expression immediately changed as he said, "The heavenly secret stage, they actually want to activate the heavenly secret stage. Is this item very important?" Su Yan's expression darkened. "That is an item of the primogeniture." Zhu Zhu's expression was gloomy as he said, "Of course it is important, but this kind of thing doesn't require the heavenly secret stage. It seems like Zhu Lihui and Zhu Yao have secretly reached some kind of agreement. Otherwise, Zhu Lihui wouldn't have rashly activated the heavenly secret stage. I need to return as soon as possible." Su Yan didn't hesitate, and his second avatar quickly returned to the city lord's residence. Currently, the seal on the Qingshan continent had been greatly reduced. With Su Yan's ability, he could pass through unimpeded. Although the heavenly secret stage was powerful, he was still able to suppress it. As long as his location wasn't exposed, even if the Sky Bamboo lineage knew who he was, they wouldn't be able to find him. Far away in the ancestral land of the Sky Bamboo lineage, if he wanted to activate the heavenly secret stage, it wasn't just Zhu Lihui who had the final say. Although Zhu Lihui was an ancestor, the heavenly secret stage was extremely important. Moreover, activating it required an astronomical amount of resources. We need to use the heavenly secret stage. The ancestral cord of the Sky Bamboo lineage was so majestic that it could suffocate one's soul. Among them, there were some old antiques that were in deep slumber. Even with a little bit of their blood essence, the vast world dimmed and the sun and moon dimmed. Ancestor, the young demon king, is extremely important. We suspect that he has the battle prowess of one of the top 50 on the monarch board. We suspect that a flourishing immortal sect is probing our tribe. Zhu Lihui emphasized the severity of the matter. Only then could they activate the heavenly secret stage. Furthermore, Zhu Lihui's heart trembled as he said, "The dark matter of the Xianhuang universe has appeared and is being controlled by the young demon king. We must find out about his origin." Dark calamity. The slumbering elders in the ancestral court emitted terrifying life force. Vaguely, pairs of eyes opened and looked down at the universe. They were shocked. The fall of the primogeniture was related to the dark matter. Could it be that one of the immortal sects in the immortal heavenly domain had the means to control the dark matter? This matter was quickly approved, and Zhu Lihui was put in charge of activating the heavenly secret stage. The heavenly secret stage was located in the forbidden land of the Sky Bamboo lineage. It was located at the peak of a majestic mountain that almost extended into the void. So this is the heavenly secret stage. Many experts came along, but was their first time seeing the clan's greatest treasure. It was a snow-white mystical stone that was densely covered in innate runes. Its aura was majestic and ancient, and it was hard to tell how powerful it was. However, when Zhu Lihui activated the heavenly secret stage with a huge amount of immortal Dao stones, it changed completely. A unique radiance rose from it, as if it could see through the past, present, and future. Furthermore, the heavenly secret stage was rotating. Every time it rotated, it would release a sound that sounded like the rumbling of the 6 paths of reincarnation. A majestic aura began to spread out. It was so majestic that it felt like the hand of the heavens. It carried the fluctuations of fate and suffocated them, rendering them immobile. Wang. Zhu Lihui swung his sleeves. He extracted Su Yan's energy from Zhu Yao's body and sent it into the heavenly secret stage. The entire heavenly secret stage rotated violently. It looked extremely terrifying, as if it had crossed the river of time and was about to extend into a terrifying dimension. Zhu Lihui was stunned. The huge amount of immortal Dao stones had been used up. How much energy was needed to do this? Zhu Lihui took out a large amount of immortal Dao stones again, but he realized that it was not enough. Hence, he could only gather a group of experts to release their energy to satisfy the heavenly secret stage's needs. Boom! Suddenly, the image projected by the heavenly secret stage changed. It was as if it had traveled through a particularly long time and space. Some images were projected, but there were fragments of time everywhere. What is that? Zhu Lihui and the others were stunned. The image projected by the heavenly secret stage was too special. They saw a blurry figure appear on the heavenly secret stage. That figure seemed to have been sleeping in the chaos for billions of years. They could not see anything clearly. Is the heavenly secret stage unable to reflect it? Zhu Lihui felt a headache coming on. He gathered a group of experts to push the heavenly secret stage again, trying to push it to the limit. The heavenly secret stage became even more brilliant and released a terrifying probing ability. After all, this was the item of Sky Bamboo's ancestor. It was extremely powerful. The entire heavenly secret stage shone, and the image projected gradually became clearer. The experts of Sky Bamboo were in disbelief. What were they seeing? One after another, supreme terrains, including undying materials, appeared on the heavenly secret stage. Zhu Lihui was trembling. He pointed at the terrains and almost roared. Even their clan had never controlled such a place of fortune. It was too terrifying and ridiculous. Zhu Lihui recognized one of them, the Golden Immortal Cave. Their clan had the Golden Immortal Cave. As the name suggested, it was a cave abode for cultivating Zenith Heaven Golden Immortals. However, the Golden Immortal Cave was the strongest place of fortune created by exhausting countless heavenly materials and earthly treasures. The amount of resources needed every year was unimaginable. Now, the Golden Immortal Cave appeared in the terrains projected by the heavenly secret stage. It was not created by humans. It was a supreme terrain formed naturally. The Golden Immortal Cave. The terrains were terrifying beyond compare. It could cultivate Zenith Heaven Golden Immortals. What kind of area was this? Why would the Supreme Demon King of Illumination manifest these terrains? It was not just the Golden Immortal Cave. There were other terrains too. They cannot name them, but they were definitely not inferior to the Golden Immortal Cave. Could this be the young demon lord's orthodoxy? However, in the entire immortal sect orthodoxy, who could control so many supreme places of fortune? Zhu Lihui's heart trembled. Where did he come from? What kind of enemy did his clan provoke? He even realized that in the center of the terrains, there were vague 33 levels of heaven. What kind of terrains were these? He had never heard of them. The terrains of the Golden Immortal Cave were only arranged in the surroundings. And that person was sleeping at the peak of the 33 levels of heaven. Chapter 14:15. Zhu Lihui was a true immortal of the great firmament and was used to great storms. He had seen all kinds of scenes and experienced all kinds of dangers. His lifespan was already 1,000,000 years. But now, Zhu Lihui was alarmed. He wanted to immediately cut off the heavenly secret stage and not investigate any further. He even wanted to summon the people who had captured the peerless villain and have them return to their families immediately. He wanted this matter to end here and not pursue it further. At this moment, Zhu Lihui had a ridiculous thought. Perhaps the young Devil King was telling the truth when he said that he was punishing the Sky Bamboo lineage on behalf of the heavens. It was not an identity that was fabricated out of thin air. In short, the scene displayed by the heavenly secret stage gave Zhu Lihui a huge shock. He was extremely terrified and his breathing became heavy. Even the other experts of the Sky Bamboo lineage were dumbfounded. The blurry scene of the supreme topography and the undying substance were steaming like a vast ocean. Was this the legendary Pure Land of Legends? Even the young man they wanted to dig out seemed to be sleeping in the central region and was being nourished by the supreme 33 heavens. Boom! Suddenly, strands of terrifying fluctuations spread out. The pressure that originated from prehistoric times was like a thick ancient history that crushed down with a rumble. Puffed. A large number of experts trembled and coughed out large mouthfuls of blood. Their eyes turned black as they could not withstand the prehistoric aura seeping out from the heavenly secret stage. Their bodies were about to explode. This was a supreme prehistoric aura crushing down. It was as heavy as ancient history. Who could resist it? Not good. Zhu Lihui cried out in alarm. He found that the heavenly secret stage was shaking and about to collapse and self-destruct. This was the primogenitor's item, the supreme treasure of the sky bamboo lineage. It had been passed down since ancient times and was incomparably precious. But now, the heavenly secret stage was about to explode. It could not withstand the pressure of the scene. In an instant, a cold pupil opened in the ancestral court. It looked down on all life in the universe. It was peerlessly powerful. The heavens and great worlds were destroyed in the eyes. The vast universe revolved and emitted a small amount of aura, as if the heavens were collapsing. These characters were too terrifying. Their bodies were hidden in the ancestral court and were slowly recovering. This caused the entire sky bamboo lineage to tremble. Countless clansmen knelt down in worship and shouted ancestor. The ancestral court was the cultivation ground of the legendary experts of the immortal orthodoxies. It seemed to exist in another time and space. An ancient hand reached out and rushed towards the heavenly secret stage. The heavenly secret stage that was on the verge of exploding was stabilized. Then the huge hand fell down. The supreme laws were like a supreme emperor. Billions of rays of blood and chi rose, shaking the heaven and earth. Supreme Ancestor. The group of true immortals were pleasantly surprised. They were protected, otherwise the energy ripples from the heavenly secret stage would really crush them to death. The ancient hand stopped the heavenly mystery stage and unleashed a supreme law of order to stabilize the trembling heavenly mystery stage. The secrets of heaven cannot be revealed. The ancient voice cut through the sky. It sounded very calm, but it was like millions of claps of thunder exploding in Zhu Lihui and the others' ears. Zhu Lihui's face turned pale. What was the background of this young devil king? The heavenly secret stage was not qualified to investigate his background. He found it hard to believe that this young devil king was a calamity that the immortal orthodoxies did not want to provoke. Boom! Suddenly, the heavenly secret stage rotated again. Wisps of terrifying prehistoric aura drifted with the wind and dissipated completely. The heavenly secret stage skipped this period of investigation. However, when the heavenly secret stage rotated again, it reflected the killing intent left behind by Su Yin on the heavenly secret stage. A blurry figure appeared and was gradually becoming clearer. However, the heavenly secret stage could not reflect his exact image. I can't see through him. Why can't I see through him? The group of true immortals felt a headache coming. Could the heavenly secret stage not even see through his original appearance? How powerful was this person's background? Grand Ancestor, can you check his location? Zhu Lihui was still hopeful and wanted to know more. I can't see through him. He has an ultimate treasure protecting him. The heavenly secret stage rotated again, but it was blurry. They could not see through it. This was the remnant cauldron protecting Su Yin, isolating him from detection. This young man is not simple. He has a great connection with the Emperor Road's ultimate land. The words of the Supreme Grand Ancestor who was sleeping in the ancestral court were as clear as a bell. This terrified Zhu Lihui. Was it related to the ultimate land? One should know that 1,000,000 years ago, a bloody battle broke out in the ultimate land. Rumor had it that the ultimate land was destroyed. From then on, there was only one sentence left in the world. There was no emperor under the heavens. The impact of that incident was too great. Even after 1,000,000 years, the old antiques of the major immortal sects still had a change of expression when they talked about it. This was because all the participants should have fallen, and this also caused the Xianhuang celestial region to change. This dusty past was listed as a taboo event, and the major immortal sects did not dare to investigate it. However, now they found a clue. A person had a great connection with the ultimate land. This surprised and delighted Zhu Lihui. Was this a good thing or a bad thing for the tribes? Could this person be related to the celestial court? The grand ancestor of the ancestral court murmured, causing Zhu Lihui to tremble subconsciously. After all, the celestial emperor of the celestial court was plotting something in the ultimate battle, which triggered a series of world-ending battles. This person might really be related to the celestial court. Celestial court, Xianhuang universe? Zhu Yao, dark matter. Could it be? Zhu Lihui's breathing suddenly became heavy. When these clues were put together, he thought of a person. This person was the strongest person of the younger generation of the Xianhuang universe who had fallen. In the entire Xianhuang universe, only Su Yan had such combat strength. Back then, Zhu Lihui had witnessed the battle on the Emperor Road's battle platform. The young overlord of the Xian people, one of the 10 prodigies, Xian Hongda, was killed by Su Yan. However, what happened after that was relatively ridiculous. The powerful Xian Huiyu was killed by Su Yan. Even the grand ancestor of the Xian people, Xian Tairan, had his external incarnation destroyed and was severely injured. However, whether it was Su Yan or the extreme Dao immortal metal, they were all buried in the world where the devil mist erupted. This can't be right. Zhu Lihui's expression was unnatural. The change in the Green Mountain continent was all because of Zhu Yao. There was definitely a blood feud between them. He knew very well that the poor woman, Bamboo Moon, and Su Yan's relationship was not to be taken lightly. If this person was really the fallen Su Yan, then some things could be explained. It shouldn't be. Su Yan isn't that strong. Zhu Lihui shook his head. This did not make sense. He admitted that Su Yan was strong, but Su Yan could not have seriously injured Zhu Yao in such a short time. Moreover, he had stirred up chaos in the Green Mountain continent and the Green Cloud continent recently. Could Su Yan alone do it? Far away in Green Mountain City, Su Yan was sitting cross-legged in his room. His eyes suddenly opened. This mysterious heavenly stage is really something. Su Yan's heart palpitated. The broken cauldron shook many times, resisting the mysterious deduction power. The small world he was sitting in remained the same. No one could see through it. Su Yan's breathing was heavy. After all, this was the undying heavenly domain, and the one deducing him was an immortal sect. Would they see something? Of course, Su Yan did not care if his identity was exposed. What he cared about was that the Sky Bamboo lineage could see through more. This was a problem. In the following days, Su Yan did not leave his room. However, there were no secrets in the City Lord's mansion. Everything was covered by his divine will. 3 days later, important news came. I heard that the family has given a death order to capture the young Devil King. I heard that several ancestors of the family have gone to other continents and are preparing to seal off the surrounding continents. There's such a thing? What's the background of this young Devil King? Why would the family spend so much effort on him? Many people were shocked. This time, the Sky Bamboo lineage was serious. The ancestors were personally controlling the teleportation formation that could cross continents and strictly investigating cultivators of unknown origins. Although this was like looking for a needle in a haystack, since the clan had done so, it caused a huge commotion. In an instant, this vast domain was stirred up. The young Devil King's background is most likely not simple. He has angered this ancient lion. Some immortal sects were shocked. The bigger the commotion caused by the Sky Bamboo lineage, the more shocking the impact would be. Although the undying heavenly domain was vast, the young Devil King's name was gradually becoming more and more ferocious. Overnight, important news came. Big news. The Sky Bamboo lineage is offering 10,000 gene of immortal Dao stones for the young Devil King's whereabouts. This shocking change caused countless people to discuss it. Incredible. Is he going to become one of the 10 most wanted criminals in the undying heavenly domain? A few years ago, the immortal race put out a bounty for a group of people. The amount of immortal Dao stones they offered was less than 5,000 kilograms, and it already attracted the attention of many terrifying leaders. Now that the Sky Bamboo faction has offered such a huge price, there will definitely be old experts who will go crazy. There were dozens of continents. Although the territory was vast, The allure of a huge sum of money would definitely attract some powerful people to search for Su Yan's whereabouts. The outside world was becoming more and more chaotic. Su Yan was secretly glad that he had the broken cauldron to protect him, but he was also a little scared. Although the Sky Bamboo lineage had offered a bounty for him, they were too quiet. This made Su Yan feel uneasy. "You're in the dark, and they're in the light. It won't be easy to find you." Su Yan gradually calmed down. He sat cross-legged in his room and said, "It's dark under the light. If I go to the Sky Bamboo lineage, they won't even think that I'm in their ancestral land. Luckily, I went to the Bai family before, so I have an identity." He thought about it carefully. There were no loopholes in his identity. Relatively speaking, it was flawless. On this day, a follower came to inform Su Yan that it was time to leave. "I'm leaving." Su Yan smiled brightly. He could finally leave. Juju was also looking forward to it. He retracted all his spiritual fluctuations and left behind message. "Su Yan, wake me up when you reach the Sky Bamboo lineage." Su Yan was looking forward to it. Juju was the disciple of the Sky Bamboo progenitor. With Juju's identity, he might be able to open up some land of fortune and obtain some rare treasures. In short, Su Yan had a feeling that this trip would most likely be a fruitful one. What comes next will definitely be more exciting. A new environment. Here I come. Su Yan met up with Bai Yunxi and headed towards a space-time array. They were going to use it to return to their tribe. Su Yan even learned that the surrounding dozens of continents would be under the supervision of the Sky Bamboo lineage for a period of time. They would not allow any cross-continent array to be activated. One had to admit that the ancient lion of the Sky Bamboo lineage was truly shocking. Of course, their tribe had paid a great price. After all, the rulers of many continents were immortal sections. Naturally, they had to pay a certain price.